What is up, everybody? Alright, time for some NA action. Which, I mean, thank goodness. JP's so boring. I think the next... Isn't the next event, like, tomorrow? Or I think it's the day after. I think, like, midway through tomorrow is when the event we're in now ends. And the other one is said to start in late April, and there's barely any time left, so I'm sure they're about to start it. But in the meantime, we got GUDAGUDA, which is probably going to be better than whatever JP gets anyway, so we'll see. Wow, got a lot of summon tickets there. Already got Mori NP5 though, so I don't need it. Actually, this song is played before. It just doesn't play too often. Oh hey, Saber Lily. Already got her NP5 though. This song is from Thomas Was Alone, which has a ridiculously good soundtrack. A little bit depressing, but you know. Alright, what do we got here? Need 200 of those. Okay, we gotta do a little bit of farming, it looks like. I really do need to beat this stage. Kind of handicapping myself needlessly. I'm probably not gonna make a video with the MHX. What I'll probably do is find a different stage. Make an MHX video for. I do want to make one, but I don't like having to do the whole massive RNG thing. Yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and beat this. We'll try to find a new unit to beat it with, and then we'll do some free quests, and then we'll get back to the boss fights. Who shall we use? I wonder if Mash can do it, actually. That's kind of an interesting one. Could she last? The problem is killing them. She'd have a really hard time killing them. I think the song's name is Freedom, I think. Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if Mash could do this, but it'd probably take a really, really long time. Because they do less damage to her because they're not getting their Berserker bonus, and then when their attack up wears off, they wouldn't really hurt her at all. Yeah, Matthew, that was her original name. There's always Ku, but we've obviously done that one before. I mean, it is kind of a small pool of servants that can do this. You need pretty excellent survivability to be able to last that long. Not much standing out to me here. Boy, that's not gonna happen. I actually doubt Hot Wheels could do it. I don't think the one survivability skill would be enough. Don't think Ozzy could do it. Maybe Hot Wheels could do it with a gut skill, maybe. Well, I guess Ku it is. Haven't used him in the rerun anyway, so. Someone did ask about Scath though, but I'll give her a go, but I don't think she'll be able to win. You can only stun one. If she could stun all three at the same time, I think she'd have a chance, but actually she would definitely be able to do it then. Maybe if she gets really lucky. Apparently we used Choco Johnny here last year and she beat it, which doesn't surprise me. She has a really good toolkit for it. And I'm pretty sure Beastly has a video of it. Can Charlotte do this? Look at that hopeful face with that emote. Honestly, Charlotte probably could do this if you did it like 100 times, right? With her lingering evade, if you just had like the enemies debuff a ridiculous amount of times, you might, if you had a Guts Craft Essence or something, Guts or a Caneth CD, you might be able to just barely do it on a, like 1 in 100, right? Okay, not exactly the hand I was looking for, but... Elephant could probably do it. There's a better hand. Give me that NP gain. Shame I don't have my ANP right now, but the odds of that are terrible. The best chance I got for critting. I don't know why I'm attacking the middle one. It's pointless. Should get my... yeah, there we go. So I need one of them to debuff, for God's sakes. There you go. So we stun the middle one. We need one of them to attack, one of them is stunned, and we need the other one to debuff again. About our only shot here. Also, damn you, Stargin down. I need the stars to crit next turn to get my MP again. I doubt wrong this would work here. All he's got is guts and defense up. 200 damage. Absolutely incredible. That's not what I wanted to see. I was hoping to stay at full health. Maybe I should have evaded there, but... do I quick up for NP gain? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to NP next turn, I want to invulnerability. Maybe the turn after that. I don't really need the quick up later. I could do Art, Buster, Quick. I guess I'd do it. I don't have a lot of other uses for it anyway. I probably should have done it last turn. Okay, actually I should be hitting this one. And we're probably going to get more music from Frequency in Armored Core 6. Because Frequency is basically From Software's in-house like music studio. They don't do the music for every game they make, but they do various things, you know, when they're not working on a game to make money. But they do always do Armored Core stuff. So if they do, we already pretty much know they're doing Armored Core 6 right now. So we're probably going to get more of that. All right, vulnerability, no choice. So I need to get my NP next turn. The crit chance is the same between Buster and Quick. I guess we'll do Quick though, just for the Sergeant. Buster card having Sergeant down, I doubt it's going to do much. Well, it didn't make much of a difference though, actually. I doubt it matters which card I use there. We are so close, though, to the turn where they lose their attack buff. And we get our evade next turn. So this is the turn that we must survive on. We can stun the big one, but the other two could definitely kill us. They do about 7k. That's where if I didn't take that damage earlier, we'd actually be almost guaranteed to live here. I'm not sure we'd be able to win, though, because I have to use my NP, and it'll take so long to get another NP. Yeah, we might just die to them even if they don't have the attack buff. Even if we do survive here. We get the evade turn though, but I'm not sure that's enough. Don't, not like this! Yeah, she can win, and she probably has a better win rate than some of the people that just have the one survival skill. But her win rate there is probably like 20%, maybe even 15, 10, quite bad. She basically needs them to debuff twice on turns that you don't have evade or invulnerability up. Not on the same turn though, just like throughout the fight you need 2 debuffs at key times. So it's possible. Should have used Necro. Actually, it potentially could. She would only need it to proc a few times. Although, no, she'd need it to proc quite a bit because we'd lose the Canis CD. And without those mad beats, the performance drops pretty hard. But I really do need to, oh my god. I don't see her being able to beat this. I don't see that happening. We'll give her a go. We'll have to get very lucky. I swear, Masashi's Summer NP is one of the most ridiculous things. So doesn't her evade last forever? Right? Am I? I think it does. Yes. Okay. So we want to do that then. That's actually good. That helps. It's only a four turn cooldown as well. I gotta be pretty stingy with the guts though. I gotta use it at like the last possible second. She's 18,000 health. Yeah, I know it's one hit. I remember that. I should be hitting the other one. I do really enjoy though the fact that she's sitting there swinging a sword at point blank range and you hear gunshots going off. That's really funny. Yeah, I guess it really doesn't matter what I do here. Just focus on NP gain. Her overcharges are very useful. Actually, it's not useful at all. Okay, I have 2 hits. I need one of them to debuff then. It's okay if they attack twice, but I need one of them to debuff. Work with me, game. I guess that dot is our most effective thing. Debuff, 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 debuff. You bitch! Well, that's pretty bad. Should have brought Atlas. Why in God's name did I not bring Atlas? Why did I do that? Yeah, Atlas would be so much better because I could do Atlas and the evade underneath it and then do the cooldown reduction. Like, hello? That is so much better. Well, just gotta get lucky again. We already had Atlas equipped, didn't we? So I must have unequipped it for like a dumbass. Well, we're probably dead. Yeah, we're dead. Okay, well. Y'all couldn't have debuffed there, like, one time? Alright, let's try that again. Give her one more go here, because that was the wrong Mystic Code, and that was pretty relevant. Oh, it's because I changed the team to using one of my units versus... No, we were using a chat's unit, weren't we? I don't know how that happened. Did I just autopilot switch it off? Let's see, we'll do that. That's better. Oh, no, wait, I was using my unit. That was my Scath, of course. This is NA. Actually, I have Scath on JP too. She's just weaker. Nero could probably do this. You would just have to be careful. You have to make sure you cast the guts on the right turn, but yeah, I think she could do it. She's AoE too, which makes this a lot easier. So far though, I've done this with a lot of different units, and I think Ku is probably the best one. There's really no losing with Ku. There's been some other really good ones though. Like, Gramps was fine. There wasn't, like, we even messed up and Gramps still did fine. And King Hassan. Fujino is obviously extremely good. Choco Jana really was good for this too. There's quite a few that do it very smoothly. But there's definitely more servants that can't do it than can. I don't think it's even close. And then there's ones like MHX that can do it, but it's shaky as hell. And it looks like Scath can do it, it's just even shakier than MHX. Like by quite a bit actually. Alright. Give me a debuff game. Alright, we want to apply the burn every turn. Everything else doesn't matter. I wonder if you've got a unit with Divinity, the Canid CD, and then a bunch of burn or dot command codes, the flat damage one, those kinds of things. I wonder how much you can get done on that 70k one. I'd imagine a good bit, actually. Okay, we've only got the one-hit evade. That's really wonky. I wish we had, like, one vulnerability and one evade, because I don't want to do this now, because then you're going to whiff the cooldown. I guess I just have to roll the dice. You have to get the long-term value. If they don't debuff at any point, we would lose anyway. Like, she needs them to debuff. I imagine Europa does well here, because she's also AoE and has more than one survival skill. That's really the trick, is having, nah, we're dead. That's kind of bullshit. Like, all those turns, they never once did... Oh, wait, no, we're not dead. I was gonna say, it's kind of bullshit that all those turns, they never bothered to debuff. Let's see, then. We barely lived there. The problem is, at this point, it's really unlikely for that evade to do anything. How long does her guts last? 3 turns. I mean, we might as well cast it then. Well... Nah, I'll try to save it for the... Well, the defense down lasts 3 turns too. Yeah, I guess I cast it now. I don't think we'll lose anything. It's not looking so good. I accidentally lost the stage. Oh, like you beat it, like permanently? Feels bad. Well, but we're gonna beat it permanently today, because I just don't really... I want to make a different video for MHX. I think I can do something better. Okay, we're so screwed here. Yeah, and our evade just won't do anything, because guts will go off this turn anyway. I mean, this is beatable. If you can get guts to go off 1 turn later, she would probably win. Because the second their stuff is gone, she'll kill every single one of them. Like, with her AoE. So she'd only needed to live 1 turn longer. And the guts being fucking next turn would have done it. Technically, we could still win if the double debuff coming up, but that's very unlikely. Actually, we're guaranteed to die because the other one has to NP. And it goes last, so... no, actually, I guess we could technically live if the other 2 both debuff, and then this one NP'd, then we win next turn. Yeah, this is beatable. Probably a better win rate than Scath, but I'd imagine you're still looking at a win rate in like the 20-30% tops, maybe not even that. But I mean, she didn't get good luck. They basically, like, never debuffed, so... that was not ideal. If you cast Guts turn 2, you could probably cast it twice. Might be right about that. Let me look, what is its cooldown? Its cooldown is 6 turns, so it's essentially 4 turns. It lasts 3 turns, so you'd still have that 1 turn gap. But you could use it sooner. Let's try that real quick, actually. That's, if you can get that to sync up, then you could actually have a basically guaranteed win, I think. Maybe that gets a video, because that'd be pretty unique. Atlas is good like that. Okay, game. Don't do this to me. This will actually kind of suck if she does beat it where there's no RNG, because then I will make a video, but then that means I have to keep the stage again. Game, come on now. All these Charlottes, though. Look at that level 30 mash. There we go, god damn. So I guess we need the guts to go off pretty early. I guess we still cast the evade though, otherwise we're just gonna be waiting to cast it anyway. It's such a short cooldown. Which is quite nice in team play. Doesn't help her a lot in a solo, but... Doesn't the story support coup give like everyone PFA or something like that? And then he still has his normal toolkit, so... And guts. Yeah, that'll do it. Alright, throw our... I don't know about this though, because normally losing the health is pretty irrelevant for her, because guts is just way more important than your health. But the health actually can buy us a turn, so we might just be trading one turn for another. That may not be as good. We'll see. Oh, I lost. You're making childish faces when you're an adult. God for days. That's some Caligula energy right there. That Grill attack. Oh, there's a debuff, which would have been really good for us the way we were playing it before. I'm not sure it's as good now, because I think we're gonna whiff guts. Yeah, we're just gonna whiff guts now, I think. See, that's the problem. Now you'd have to guess when to cast it. The problem is there's really no guarantee way to guess right? Because you're guessing. It's like if you cast it on turn 2 and the attack every time, you might need it. I do think more times than not, though, because of the extra evade, I think we need to cast it on turn 3. Yeah, this is kind of a problem, though, because it's really easy for you to whiff it, and you also waste the health, and the health can actually buy you a turn. So I'm not sure this really increases the win rate. It might increase it slightly, but it definitely, I don't think, would make it like a guaranteed win. Because even if guts went off there, but yeah, see right here, casting it on turn 3 would have been fine, I think. Okay, hold on. We gotta figure this out. You'd have to work pretty hard to lose with the support coup. And really, it's not too hard with a team, even if you don't bring support coup. Because you can just bring units like MASH and that kind of thing, and lasting 7 turns is not that big of a deal. Yeah, that was really funny loss that Diablo Immortal is like, okay, fine, we are putting it on PC. And they're all like against emulators and stuff, so that's funny. But hey, maybe someday we'll get FGO on PC. And then streaming it would be way easier. Pretty awesome opening hand. It's a shame that it's a stage that doesn't matter too much.
これでどうかな、マスター。
If you're talking about this stage, Emiya is trash here, because ignore armor doesn't even do anything. I mean, the challenge quest, though, then he's alright, although you're still AoE. But it's certainly winnable at that point. I mean, hell, you can beat the challenge quest with a servant that doesn't even have armor ignore. It's just, puts more stress on, like, how good are your supports need to be. That reminds me, though, over the years, you know, we've had plenty of bosses that have defense up gimmicks, or damage resistance gimmicks, or damage cut gimmicks, right? And all these things operate differently. And every time without fail, if you don't, like, put text in the video or something like that, you know, as it's applicable, if you have a boss with damage resist, people still think that, like, armor ignore works on, and they're like, why didn't you do this, or why didn't you bring that servant, or why did you cast that ability when the character has armor ignore? It's like, it's because damage resist doesn't care about armor ignore. So that comes up a lot. Who is the best support for Super Orion? I mean, it depends on what you're doing. Like, it's gonna be pretty context specific if you're like burst, longevity. But, you know, Merlin's good, Beach is good. You know, budget side, Hans is really good. Even Chen Gong's good, even though he's not a berserker. Yeah, it comes down to the stage. Like, I really, this is a big thing. A lot of the setups you'll see like whales use only work because they have all the pieces of Exodia and they can beat the stage before like their lack of survivability catches up with them, right? If you don't have that much like damage support, you're going to have to offset some things with maybe mash or taunt or something, right? Like you're going to have to mix things up. So it just depends. I mean, a safe bet is always Merlin, right? There's never a time that Merlin is bad for a Buster team, ever. Even if he's not the absolute best pick, he's always a good pick no matter what the circumstances. Because he gives you lots of damage, he gives you one of the easiest, most straightforward ways to save the entire team and like make them live longer. He makes stars and all that, that's good for Orion. For budget stuff though, Hans is really good. Is it worth summoning for Jolter or wait for Muramasa? So it's always these kind of questions. It always just depends on like you know, like what do you already have? How much do you care about being meta? Because I really mean this, and I think I've proven this with like my 30 billion accounts. You don't need to roll for anything. Like you don't, right? The default stuff is good enough. It's just a matter of it can help you to various degrees, right? But for example, Muramasa's not even useful if you've already got a bunch of other characters that do easy AoE stuff. Like, Muramasa's not even that strong. No, like, he's not bad. He's a perfectly good DPS, but he's not like some god tier DPS that just trivializes the whole game, right? Like, for example, let's say you've got Summer Masashi here. You don't really need Muramasa. Like, it's just, there's no point. And vice versa. If you had Muramasa, it's not like you really need to roll for Masashi, but you might like him, right? He might be one of your favorite characters, and you just want to, you know, make teams with them and stuff, and that's fine. But same for Jolter, you might really like Jolter. So, you know, Jolter's more of a single target boss killer. Muramasa's more of an AoE farmer, but he's good for some boss fights that are AoE based. So it's really just which one do you like more, and how much do you care about meta versus fun, or just characters that you like, and then what do you have, right? You might already have a bunch of characters that already fill the role of Jolter or Muramasa. Because even if you don't have an AoE Saber, you can always level Spartacus and things like that. There are ways to make up for that. But if you have no AoE Saber, or in hell, maybe you don't have any strong Sabers, right? That obviously, from a gameplay perspective, would increase like how much you might want to get Muramasa, right? Versus like Jolter if you don't need an Avenger. But yeah, there's no way to give like objective advice because it's up to you as an individual. Do you care about meta? Because people always say, you know, roll for what you like, but that's not actually good advice for some people. Some people really do prefer rolling for gameplay, and that's fine, right? And some people it's a mix of the two, right? They kind of like, sometimes they like picking the characters they like, but they also like getting some units that are practical, and that, you know, you gotta find a balance between the two. So yeah, it's an individual thing. The best thing I can just tell you is Muramasa's a good AoE unit, but he's nothing groundbreaking. It's not like he's the only unit that does good AoE stuff, not even close. But same for Jolter. It's not like Jolter is like the best Avenger that ever was. She is very good. She'll kill Berserkers and Rulers like extremely well. So yeah, they're both good. So yeah, just kind of just look at your own situation and go from there. Anyway, turn 3, so guts time. Let's see if this works better for us. And before this time, though, we just get attacked every single turn, and then we needed it sooner. Funnily enough, Dantes is like the in-between of Jolter and Muramasa, where he's AoE like Muramasa and really good for farming, but he's an Avenger, so he does still kill rulers and that kind of thing. Okay, not good. They attacked 3 times, so guts could go off right now. Yeah, this is the opposite. This is where last time we cast it on turn. That's frustrating. We need to switch these 2 attempts around, but there's just no way to know. And that's, yeah, I don't think she's getting the video, chat. Even if she can beat it, which I suspect she can. But it looks like it's pretty difficult to remove the RNG from this. I will say for my own, don't attack. Fuck, y'all couldn't debuff 1 time, right? If they debuffed 1 time, this might have worked, but and now we're screwed. Fuck off. Yeah, we need literally one. If you're gonna cast it on turn 3, it doesn't even matter which turn they do it on, but on one of those opening turns, they have to debuff 1 time. Otherwise, you fucked. God damn it, dude. But yeah, if it was me, I would probably roll on Jolter before I would roll on Muramasa, because I prefer like the kind of unit Jolter is, so like being more you know, single target, and Avengers are kind of fun, and having self-survivability, which is good for solos, which I like to do. And even in team play, I think Jolter is just a lot of fun. But yeah, look at this. For real, if they had debuffed a single time, we would be able. Would we win? Let me think. I don't know if we would still win. So Guts would be back in time so I could cast it next turn. Wait, would we win? Because is it the turn after that? Yeah, because the turn after is where I could just instantly kill them all with the AoE. So yeah, we would win if Guts goes off 1 turn later. Which it definitely can. So you just need them to debuff like 1 time, and then I think you win. Let's try it a couple of times and see. That's still not an amazing win rate though, but if that's true, if I'm not like forgetting something, if I'm messing something up, it probably is pretty 50-50 then if she wins. You don't need Castoria or Tam to overkill with Muramasa. That's not true. Depends on the stage. I mean, fucking some farming stages, the enemies have like 12k health. Oh man. And then you can always work in things like Hohenheim, and you might have a high NP rank. There's all kinds of ways to get you know, loopy stuff going on that don't always require Castoria. Like hell, even Mozart sometimes can help out on farming teams because it's so much damage. If you don't have Castoria though, and you're gonna do art stuff, you really do want to level Hohenheim, because Hohenheim can clear a first wave pretty easily if it's a weaker stage. A lot of times, even on harder stages, a lot of times the first wave they're pretty low health. So sometimes Hohenheim can clear the first wave. That's really nice, and then he makes someone else do more damage and way better loopability. So it's pretty good, and then you can even slap it in a Arash or something if you need to. Actually, I don't think Muramasa is one of the best loopers in the game. He's fine, he's fine, but I absolutely think there are better units for looping. Like for example, let's say you're doing vanilla Muramasa, right? You don't have Castoria, right? Now you might be on a team, but you don't have like Castoria, Waver, you don't have any of those big boys. There are going to be times where you are really going to struggle to loop. Now, you can make up for that with like Hohenheim and shit like that. But there are other units out there that basically just guarantee loop, you know, regardless of what the hell they're doing. But I mean, he's fine. I don't think Muramasa is a bad looper, absolutely not. But I don't think he's like one of the absolute best in the game. It's just everyone seems like the best looper in the game when you pair them with Castoria, which is why Castoria is stupid. I mean, for God's sakes, it takes no effort for even like Phantom of the Opera to loop his NP when you're working with Castoria. I'm not kidding. Like if you're in a stage where Phantom's counterclassing, you've got Castoria, you know, typical that kind of setup. Even Phantom really does loop pretty easily. So. But here's the thing: if you have a strong enough team, I'm not kidding. You can make anybody loop. People have this idea that it only counts as looping. I hate this mindset because it's just dumb. They act like if you loop through like having art up or quick up, right, from Scatty, Tam, Castoria, stuff like that, and so you're getting more NP gain because of the art up or an art up ability from like Asclepius or whatever. They act like if you have those kind of buffs, and then your own hit count brings your NP back, that's somehow more legit, air quotes, than just raw battery, like with double waver or something. It's the same thing. You're getting skills from another unit that are allowing you to NP more, right? I've seen that. I've seen people where if you do like double waver to make someone like who has their own self battery NP, then double waver NP again, they act like that's not looping. That is literally looping, and that's not any different than Edmund needing like quick up from Scatty to be able to loop. It's a skill from another unit that the unit doesn't have on their own, right? The only units that loop on their own are, there are some, right? You might have like Fionn in the right kind of stage where he's got his own art up, his own NP gain up, and his own battery. So you NP, then you battery, and then because of his NP gain up and the art up, he loops on his own. But even that is going to kind of depend on like the health of the enemies and the class of the enemies and stuff like that. That's not going to be guaranteed to work. I think there are though some units that are pretty much guaranteed to work. You have things like Cersei that could like start with high starting NP, use 100% battery, NP again. Right, so it's possible for units to loop with absolutely no help from anyone else. But most units are going to loop based on either battery from someone else, like Scatty or Castoria or whatever, or from buffs from another unit like Tam or Castoria, right? That's normally how they're going to loop. So it doesn't matter if it's double waver or double Castoria. It makes no difference. If you NP multiple times, you NP multiple times. Like a good example is like Mordred and Artoria, right? Where they can like NP on their own, get their overcharge, get battery, use their battery skill, right? And then you just get like a minor amount of battery from someone else, then boom, you NP again, right? That's literally not any different than a bunch of art ups. Yeah, Mordred can loop on her own, but again, it can change depending on like, overkill and enemy type and blah, 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 blah. It's pretty hard for a unit to loop completely on their own in a team setting against like assassins, right? Or berserkers. That's normally pretty hard unless you get your art cards, right? For example, if Fionn gets both of his art cards, even on a berserker, if you do the NP gain, the art up, and save his battery, and then he does art after the NP, yeah, you're probably gonna loop then, like no shit. But you can't guarantee that you're gonna get the art card and that kind of thing. So. Alright, turn one, let's not fuck this up. One of these days, we're gonna have these guys debuff on a turn that it's relevant. Hey, Arjuna. So I feel like turn two, even if the RNG goes in a way where you need to have casted on turn two, you will lose anyway, because then you're just behind. So I think you need to cast it on turn three, and you need it to just line up. Like you need to get lucky there. Alright, turn three. Alright, game. Come on. Give me those debuffs. Oh, I should probably be careful and not use that heal earlier, because actually healing on this turn could buy you a turn, because sometimes you come down to like 500 health and crap. So I should have not used that card earlier, because I didn't need the NP gains. I wasn't paying attention. Okay, we got a debuff. I think we still need one more. No. We can take a hit. We can, as long as it's from a low Nobu, like a mini Nobu, not a big one, which it will be. So I think, if I'm correct, if it's ever gonna work, this is when it would work. Watch us get crit and high rolls on. Okay. Is there any reason to evade? I mean, technically, you could get lucky. And they don't proc guts. They will normally proc guts here, though. Is it, okay, I'm gonna use Atlas in a minute anyway. Will that bring it back in time? I mean, it's really hard for us to get value out of evade at this point. The first evade is the only one that really matters. So I guess I throw it out, and if it works, great, and if it doesn't, oh well. They have to... Actually, only the big one needs to cast a debuff. Or no, the first one. If either of the first two cast a debuff, we're actually not gonna have guts go up here. Damn it. Yeah, cause see, if either one of those had debuffed, right? If the first one had debuffed, then the big one would have pinged off the shield, and we could have face tanked the third one. The other way around, if this one pinged it off, but then this one debuffed, we wouldn't need to face tank it, and then we could still face tank the third one. So it actually wasn't, like, if either one of these two had debuffed, we would have been completely fine. Right, so that we had an okay odds there, but they don't seem to debuff too much. Okay. We might have this. Overcharge don't matter. Dots good, I suppose. We just have to be able to kill every single one of them. It's true, guts would have gone away. I got that is true. It would've made a difference. That's where if like her guts lasted longer, it'd be amazing here. Like if it lasted 5 turns, you could cast it much sooner. And just like everything would be better. But that'd be she'd be kind of too good if you did that. Like that short of a cooldown would be nuts. Okay, so we just have to live the one more turn. Is there any reason to do the first skill? We don't need crit, so I guess not. I guess we just let it. I think she's got it though. So really, all she needs, her win rate is probably 50 to 60%, somewhere in there. She just needs them to debuff one time within like those first two turns that your taunts are dead. That's not that unlikely. Obviously, it's not the most likely thing ever, right? It's not as good as somebody that can live no matter what they do. But that's actually an okay win rate if you do it properly. Alright, we'll do like Europa, but then we'll probably move on. Just to fire everything. So it really does come down to if we can kill here. Do I think I'm gonna need to... Okay, hold on. I don't know. What's our NP rank? I'm not sure. Okay, NP 5, that's pretty good. So we have attack up. That's it though, and defense down. I probably do like Buster, NP, and then another card in case like the 92k one lives. She's 2k forward. Okay, we're probably going to kill them. But I'll do it like that so it increases our odds of... Okay, we look pretty safe here. Because even if the 92k one lived, which I don't think it will, but even if it did, we're definitely killing the other two, and then we would target switch and then kill that one. Oh my god, it lived. Well, and thankfully I made the right play then, though. I made the right call there. I did not think that would live, but yeah, I guess not quite enough damage there. Alright, we'll use Europa. And then I think we'll move on finally. I mean, her NP is kind of cringe, but I think it's supposed to be. That's kind of the point. No, you say. Wait, what are you gonna do about that? Yeah, her NP is supposed to be silly, right? That's the best way of putting it. But on a side note, like, obviously a lot of people use cringe as like a joke, right? They're not serious. But I actually feel this way. When people act like they truly feel like something is, you know, cringe, they use it in a serious way. When it's just something they don't like it's just something not up their alley, right? It's like not their cup of tea, and like, oh, that's cringe. I think that's one of the dumbest fucking things you can do, right? Like, if you don't like something, that's fine, but there's no reason to like behave that way. I think that's just very silly. It's like, you know, I'm not into like magical girl anime, right? But I'm not like, oh, that's cringe, bro, right? Like, it's just a thing I don't like, right? That's it. I don't need to try to have like some objective authority here. But yeah, honestly, cringe has kind of lost its meaning. People use it so frivolously now that it doesn't really mean a damn thing anymore. All right, where is the moon cow? Or moon bull or whatever. Cringe take, yeah. Work with me, game. There are so many, and TG, thank you for the 20-month resub, dude. I appreciate it. That's kind of out of nowhere. Thank you, man. There's so many reasons I don't like Magical Girl. First off, like just aesthetically in vibe, it's obviously not up my alley at all, right? So there's no cool factor there, so that's no good. Second off, it's a pretty contrived premise, which I normally don't like. Now I can put up with a contrived premise depending on like the context or the content, I should say, of the series, but I don't really like contrived premises like that. And then the casts are pretty much always just, you know, girls, and then maybe one guy that's the antagonist that's like really two-dimensional and like, you know, drooling, he's so evil, right? So yeah, not really, a lot of negatives there, that a lot of stuff I don't care about. Like, even if you're gonna have a show that, like, let's say you have a magical girl show that has good writing, which, you know, if it does, then, you know, fair enough, you know, I wouldn't, like, deny that. If it's good writing, it's good writing. But, did I just see auto with 1T, not on our friends list, though, by the way, so that's just, random. But, anyway, you can have a show with good writing that also has a premise that I like more, right? So from, like, a subjective standpoint, it's pretty hard, if not impossible, for me to like a magical girl show, because it's so, like, fundamentally not something I'm interested in. So even if it does other things well, like art style or writing or whatever, that's probably not gonna save it. Just relogged. Okay, that normally helps. This is getting ridiculous, though. The fuck? That name, though, we got a mecha fan. I'll take it. Okay, we'll do one more, but I literally don't care enough to keep doing this, so if this don't work, we'll just beat it with something else. I do want to move on. I really wasn't wanting to do this stage more today. The question is, though, what do we want to beat it with now, if we can't get Europa? Europa can probably do it, though. She's AoE. Let's see. Let's see if my account has something abnormal. It's more unique, that might be able to beat it. Let's see, I mean, it's pretty tough to beat this stage, to be honest. So, Ku can do it. I think Scath can do it, but the win rate is trash. Maybe Cleopatra, because she's AoE. How much health does she have? If she landed the defense buff, maybe, but that's pretty iffy. Herc, actually, probably not. Well, Let me think. Does he have his... Well, no, he wouldn't need... I don't know. I don't know if Herc could do it or not. I kind of want to try. Obviously, he'll cancel their turn, so that's really good. Let's see. Anything else on my account that I think would have a chance here? Definitely not 100 Face. Definitely not Beowulf. I don't think Joan of Arc, unless you just had God tier looping. Definitely not Proto Coup. So far behind Coup on that one. Maybe Mash. Mash might be able to do it. She effectively cuts their damage in half and then has a bunch of defense ups and stuff. Mash's only problem, like living the 7 turns would be easy. I don't think that's an issue. It's the doing the damage part. That would be a problem. Yeah, really, I think the only ones that could do it reliably for me is Herc, maybe Cleo, and then maybe Herc. Or did I say Herc for Coup? Yeah, I meant yeah. So Coup, Herc, Cleo. Coup is definitely the best, and maybe Scath, but Scath's win rate I really think would be like 25%, 15%, some crap like that. Actually, I do want to give Herc a try. I would not be surprised if this does not work though. Because I'm sure he can live the turns, but I don't know if he could kill them. Okay. Well, what you can do though is try to do like a Buster crit on the right turn. Try triple kill. So it's, we need to get this one as low as possible. Funnily enough, I cannot believe I'm saying this, and unfortunately that guy's in chat, but for once, it actually kind of sucks that we don't have the Canis CD, because between it and Divinity, it really would get this Nobu low enough that it would make it a lot easier to triple kill. Now, on so many units, that's not relevant because you're probably going to kill at the same time regardless of the damage. But for the way Herc is going to play here, it legit could actually be helpful to have this thing lower. Now, another thing that could help though is I could just give Herc some command codes, and that would help him either just crit harder or make more stars, like a star bomb on his quick card. Because you're probably going to need to Buster crit NP, then Buster extra. And the second Buster doesn't need to crit. But command codes would help a lot. I didn't say it. I did not say it. I said CD, thank you very much. But yeah, dot command codes, stuff like that, could be enough to get it low, like where you need it to be. No point in Buster chaining, so... make stars, I guess. But yeah, that's the key. This thing needs to die. We need to kill this Nobu with one Buster, then NP the other Nobu, and then Buster extra the other one. Or just be able to live. Just be able to, he's in denial. I did not fucking say it. There's no fucking way. I need video evidence here. There was that one time, though, that I was pretty convinced that I didn't say it, and someone clipped it, and I actually did say it, and that was fucked up, but, you know. Not like critting matters, but... The thing is, I already know Lost does it. What Lost does is if the evil one is not here and I say it, Lost will just fill in, right? So he's like the backup. You know, he took up the banner for some fucking reason. I actually really wish we didn't have that Star Gem down. Critting is going to be really important. We are living long enough, but that part did not concern me. So please crit to make more stars. Yeah, I guess Buster, I don't know if the flat damage on Buster chains work on damage resist, I actually forget. I know they work on defense up, but I wouldn't think they would work on damage resist. Let's find out, let's science it real quick. It's damage plus. See, I know it works something like. Okay, now it works. Okay. Yeah, I knew it worked on like the crabs. I knew it worked on the crabs and stuff like that. I didn't think it worked on damage resist. Okay, so this is coming down to the wire here. He definitely can do 60k if he crits. Oh, the 100% crit chance. And then we get one more turn, so if the back Nobu lives, fuck! I mean, he can beat it, you just can't do that. I should have done Buster NP. I thought he would kill, I'm surprised. That's why you need a command code for like crit damage. So yeah, we should have done Buster. Look how much damage you did right there. So if you just hit that, if you do Buster, you'll kill the front one. Then you NP extra, kill the middle one. And then you need to do 90k with a Buster chain. Oh right, we're not dead yet, because Herc is Herc, excuse me. Wow, even though I just fucked up, we might still win. This is going to be close. The next one's harder to kill, and we have no stars. So, no RNG, you can win with Herc. 0 RNG. If you just play properly, he'll win every time, if I didn't make that mistake. And now it's like, we can win, but... we got a 40% crit, and, you know, maybe get some high rolls in here. That was not a high roll. We just had our second card. Fuck this game. Our second card, which has the higher rate, did the same damage as our first card. Oh, we just went anyway. We just went anyway. Okay, we'll give Otto one more try to get in, but if we don't get him, we're just gonna beat it. I kind of want to do it better with Herc. Yeah, once they lose their attack up, because their damage resist is tied to their attack up, and vice versa. So when it wears off, their damage tanks. Oh, hey, MFJ. Not bad. This music, though. Okay, whatever. No offense to Europa, but I literally don't care enough. And really, I think Europa can do it. She's got a good kit for it. Like, if she's got a good CE, she's properly leveled up and everything, I don't see why she could. Okay, let's see if we can play Herc properly this time, though. See, I think Herc can have a 100% win rate here. Like, even if you don't crit on that first turn, because we had that extra turn, I think if you do everything right, I'm pretty sure it's a 100% win rate. Which you can't really get any better than that. Other than like just having an AoE NP that no matter what will always one-shot all of them, so it's like, you know, easier, I suppose. Really good opening hand though. Although we actually do need to worry about NP gain. You probably just secure the NP gain and then start spamming Buster cards. So like when we'll use our R card for a bit at the beginning. We don't actually need to do this much damage. I'm confused as to why though this works on damage resist. Because like I don't think Waver's damage plus works on damage resist off memory. Or am I wrong? I haven't used. Oh, you're not on my list. That would explain why you're not coming up. You'd have to have changed your name though. I don't remember ever removing you. I only like remove randoms that I don't like recognize. I don't generally remove regulars. You either removed me or you changed your name to something stupid, and then I have no pity for you. I've had actually one of my real life friends change his name to something stupid. And then so I removed him, and then he was mad, and I'm like, you know, if you don't want to get removed, don't do that. I've actually had several people do that. Like I'm gonna remember like 80 people's fucking name changes. Icy. I don't know what brought that up, but okay, this turn actually kind of sucks, but wait, have I deleted, you say? I don't remember that. Hey, to be fair, I've deleted myself, right? So, all right, let's secure the NP here, and then we'll go back to Buster Chain. I've actually deleted myself quite a few times because if I'm like trying to summon something specific for a video and I'm in my way, I can re-add myself so easily. No, I really wish they made I hate that the requests get like you can't why is there a cap on invites, right? Like I mean okay, I know I get why there's a cap, but I wish the cap was bigger. There we go, because 20 is not a lot. But yeah, if you didn't have a cap, then that'd be all kinds of problems. Then that'd be a bigger issue. Okay, probably one more NP game turn. They actually said they were thinking about, this was a little while ago now, so maybe they're not going to do it, but they said they were considering doing like a favorite system for the friends list in an interview. But I remember they were very clear in that they were just like thinking about doing something like that. They didn't, I don't know. I feel like some of the other changes they've made to the friends system is kind of their way of like improving it, air quotes. So I'm not sure we're going to see any other stuff. But I don't know, Lasagna's just kind of getting rolling, so. Yeah, I love it though. I wish I could invite people up to the cap, because then I would just add all my regulars. And then I can kind of just check out what they're doing along the way when like new updates come out and who rolls on what, and I think that'd be really cool. But I mean, it's already bad enough. Like my friends list is normally half full, and it's already way too hard for me to summon like my ult account for a video, or to summon Beastly for a video, or whatever. It's already way too hard, and I wish I could like just delete everyone, but yeah, it's annoying, and it's annoying to have to constantly add people and remove them and then re-add them like we're seeing right now, right? It's just annoying, right? So I really and I know some of it's just streamer problems. It's not things that the average player is going to deal with. But the thing is, it's 2022, and a lot of marketing for games and a lot of hype around games comes from social media stuff and streaming and YouTube and everything. So it's not why not put a few basic, and I mean basic, systems in place to make those kinds of things smoother. Because it's not that much work on their side, and I think it would help, like with a lot of the community aspect up for these games. Because it's not just streamers and stuff that have problems with the friend system in this game. Maybe I should have made stars there. I think using a quick card is probably more useful. Because now I have quick down. Let me think about this. God, can you guys imagine this once Herc gets his third skill buff? More damage so I don't need as much next turn, or try to crit. Because I have quick down, I think we just Buster Chain. Yeah, if you do want something like a 65 Leo, you pretty much have to have a friend. Because this is another thing. Never mind streamer stuff, like, never mind any of that. I really think they need to be like Arc Knights, where you have the option to not summon a support. Because there's just a lot of times where you need the support slot to be something like a 65 Leo. That way you've got something that you need, it works for the team, but you're not summoning something OP, and then you can just bring whatever for the rest of the team, and it's so much easier. It is so annoying when you need the support unit to be something, because this is what I find happens a lot, is your options for support. This is almost 95% of the time I'd say it's like this, unless you're talking to someone on Discord or whatever to have them slot something, or an ult account. Your support options are either completely useless, not because they're bad units, but because they're just not even remotely applicable to the stage, right? Like summoning Mordred in a challenge quest with an assassin, it's like, what the fuck, it doesn't do anything. or you're summoning something that's way too good and it's like, you know, Merlin, Scatty, Castoria, you know, whatever, and you don't want that kind of thing on your team. So it's either have a dead slot, so you're basically working with 5 units and then a dead slot that makes it even worse than, like, it's like less than bringing 5 units, or you're bringing a unit that just runs everything and makes it too easy. It's really annoying to have those 2 options. So if you just want to summon something like, you know, Babbage, you're fighting an assassin, so you want to summon Babbage. He's good, he's not a dead weight, but he's also not going to carry the shit out of you. It's really hard to be able to do that kind of thing reliably. And that's where, if you just couldn't bring a support at all, if you had the option to just not summon a support, period, you would just bring your own, you know, Babbage or the Clown or whatever, and then it's no big deal. So I really wish they would do that, and that's what that's what Arknights does, and I just don't understand why it's forced. I don't get the point of forcing supports, because if you made it optional, like opt out, where you had to click a button to not summon a support, most people wouldn't use it. Most people are happy to summon a friend's Castoria or whatever. And I guess in their minds it's forced because they want to, you know, generate more FP for the player base, and I don't know, I guess it's for the whales, honestly, because if whales know people have to summon a support, that incentivizes whales to try to make their support list better than everyone else's, so they can show off and, you know, feel, you know, important. I mean, that this is a known thing with, like, whale psychology, is like games that don't let them show off, people don't want to whale on. Right? People oftentimes want to whale for, like, feeling like more elite in a social group. Like, that's absolutely a thing. And I think the friends list is part of what plays into that. And so forcing people to see it and forcing people to always have them summon something, you know, whales, they want to be that kind of guy that they want all the people on their friends list to be refreshing, looking for them specifically, because that makes them feel, you know, good or whatever. But yeah, you don't see, like, if you have games that, like, incentivize whaling a lot, but those games have no audience, people don't generally whale in them much, if at all, right? It's not every whale, you know, people are unique individuals, but a lot of whales are looking to show off. It's very much a thing. Now again, that's clearly not all whales, and some people whale just because they want to just like the game and they want to get the unit that they're interested in and stuff like that. You know, I think Beastly is a good example. You know, Beastly just whales some shit because, like, oh, that's cool. You know, Beastly never tries to show off. Actually, quite the opposite. I feel like Beastly kind of just exists, and then he got outed because he has such unique taste and, like, all these amazing, surprisingly good units that aren't popular, though. You don't like, a lot of people don't hype Chakojana or Fujino even, and you have all of those things, and then people see how unbelievably good they are. So I have seen more people looking on, like, my Discord to add Beastly than anyone, like, by far. I often see people being like, oh my god, they add Beastly. I actually don't know how Beastly keeps up with it. I don't know how you manage your support list without losing your mind, because I know you get, like, invites constantly, so I'm not sure what your system is to, like, keep things in order. Okay, I don't have quick down anymore. Oh wait, they've lost their stuff, so it's damage time. That's a 38k, which is way easier to one-shot if I do get a crit, but if I don't get a crit, oh, 100% crit. Chat, am I about to make, there's no way he doesn't do 38k. He's got Buster up, Attack up, I guess I don't have my crit up, though, for my second skill. 38k, Buster Chain. The thing is, I don't think you need to go for the one-shot. I think it's completely fine to do Buster, NP Extra. But it's so much cooler to one-shot it. Like, that's so much cooler. 38k. I should have paid attention to what we did last time. Yeah, he had Valor last time. This is exactly like it was before. Everything is exactly the same. 100% crit, Buster up, Attack up. Everything's exactly the same. I'm gonna do it. I mean, we'll win even if it fails. So I just wanted to show Herc, you know, playing it more. Wrong call. It's exactly like last time. Everything's the same. Nothing changes. God damn it. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. And look, you know, okay, just to, you know, I don't normally do this, but just to show that it's way better to do it the other way, I'm gonna reset it and just, because we know we win, right? We know we win even with that bad turn, we win regardless, but it's obviously better to do Buster NP extra, because you only need the NP extra to kill the other one. If I did NP first, then all I would do to the other Nobu is Buster Extra, which is not enough. Like, why do I have to explain this? Because most likely the NP is not gonna one-shot this one, so I can't NP that one, because I did 138. I mean, I guess you could NP this one, you could NP this one and then Buster this one, but there's no difference. Like, you ultimately just need to kill 2 of them, which you can do this way. There's literally no, yeah, I'm just showing off and fucking it up, right? You don't need to do anything special here. That's why I was saying why Herc has 100% win rate here, because it's irrelevant to do fancy shit here, right? It's not actually necessary. But yeah, like our NP did 138k and stuff like that, although it's possible for the NP. Oh! Fuck you, Herc, okay? I like how the lower crit chance, with no command code, by the way, that one shot that time, right? Just cuz. That one, oh, now we won 57. Okay, the low high roll system is really stupid, okay? I would just like to point that out, because last time the NP did 137k, right? That time the NP did 157k, so that does one shot, right? That's stupid. That's just fucking stupid. This game, okay, we don't actually need to evade. This is still better than the time before, because he'll kill on this turn because we actually did damage, so we won't fail to kill this one. So this is still better than the other run, obviously, but I didn't blame you. I just said, you know, you might have, you know, removed me or whatever, right? That's not really blaming you. People are off my friends list all the time. I am not gonna feel any shame for removing people from my friends list, because the friends list in this game is horrible and it's just necessary. Like, there's no world where I'm gonna be able to make content for this game and not remove people all the time. I am not apologizing on FGO's behalf. That is absolutely not happening. Okay. I have to do a free quest though. I have no choice here. Alright, what free quest is even worth doing right now? That's okay. I will say, this is the one complaint that I have about GUDA Final, right? Love this event. It's great. It's one of the best events. But the fact that you can't, you have to like look, I guess, for like the little icon, but like you could easily make it way easier to like figure out which stage is which and like in which order you were unlocked in, right? That could be way better. Okay, that's not that one. It's this one. This is the best one. Yeah, I guess you can look at the level. You can look at the level. Yeah. Am I? Yeah, this is the highest one. Let me just make sure that I'm not crazy. Yeah, the UI for this bit is not great. And that's not even unique to this event. There's a lot of events where you have a lot of nodes, and it's like the event on JP, right? Let's say you don't play the game for a while, right? Like a few days, like you're playing other video games or whatever, and then you go back and you want to farm efficiently. You have to search through a billion nodes to try to figure out which node is actually the one. It's like it doesn't. There's no reason to do it that way. Like we don't need to have the map with a billion things on it that you have to click on, because like the JP event's a good example, right? The JP event, it's just free quests everywhere, and it's like you can't see their level, easily without clicking on them. It's dated. That's what I'm getting at. The UI is very dated. All right, this is farming. Excuse me. I have no idea what the stage drops. Let's see. Gold and bronze. We'll go with that. It's limit broken. It's pretty efficient. Did I have a team for this? I think I did, but I blew it up. All right. You know, let's try to make Medusa work. We haven't used her for much, and she's counterclassing, so that's irrelevant. Probably do the old Orochi Spartacus combo. Wait. Oh, right, my Spartacus isn't grailed. Excuse me. I'm thinking of like the Steno account or something. Alright, we want Hans Bond. I guess Qingong Bond? I don't know if there's anything else that... Is there someone that I want coins on in the future? I mean, obviously Q. But I really don't want to deal with beyond Bond 10 in this fucking game. Like, I already have Q at Bond 15. I don't really want to do that again. But I might as well throw him in the back because, I mean, what else am I going to put there? Now, if we want to get really meta about this, I should really give Medusa that so we get more drops. I mean, technically, I should do this, but I don't think that's necessary. If I was actually off stream, though, I probably would do a setup that was all event CEs like that. But I don't think I need to. This event's not that hard to farm. I've already gotten all the rewards from last year, so it's just a whole lot of doesn't matter. What is my Medusa on my main account? I think she's Bond 9, I think. I've actually never tried to get Bond on Medusa. It's just, so when I first started playing the game, and I was playing through the main story for the first time, and all that, Medusa was like my only writer for quite a while, because I didn't know anything about Ushi's character, and let's be honest, Ushi's design is crap. So yeah, all I had was Medusa. There was like no other writers that I liked other than like Iskandar, but I didn't have him. He's a limited, etc. So Medusa was the only writer that I liked, that I had access to. So anytime I fought casters, I always used her. And then she is a good farming unit. Like, no joke, she is a good farming unit. So in the early days, I actually used her quite a bit. And then even now, there definitely are caster stages where like, yeah, I'll just slap Medusa on the team and it's easy to 3-turn. And so I've never tried to get Bond with her, but I've just naturally used her a lot, so she's kinda close to Bond 10. Not that her Bond CE is any good though. Yeah, at least on NA though, you can get the coins in advance, where no one on JP knew to do that. I'll have 123 mil on NA before JP at this rate. That's dumb. That really is dumb. But yeah, I was talking about whaling earlier, and like Lost is another example, or like Lost, you know, puts money into the game, but he's not trying to get clout, right? Like there's plenty of people that just spend money on entertainment that they like, and that's a lot of people. But there absolutely is a big chunk of people out there that, be it a game like Lost Ark or FGO or Genshin Impact, where, you know, they always want to have the latest and greatest, and they want to be the thing that's like, you know, admired, if you will, and that's just like, it's an ego thing. And yeah, gacha games kind of feed off that. You know, it's not the only thing they feed off of. You know, they try to, you know, get into psychology of people in many ways to try to get money out of them. But yeah, it's like you've probably seen it. You've got video games. Epic 7 does this. I can think of MMOs that do this and things like that, where when somebody does something, almost always gambling related, like, you know, getting a lucky thing from the gacha or whatever, they'll sometimes do like a server-wide message, like, oh look, X person pulled this thing, right? And they're doing that to, like, first off make that person feel like, oh man, look at, you know, to make it extra special or whatever, but also to make other people think, you know, oh, I can get that thing too, and, you know, that kind of thing. You know, that's psychology. Right? Oh my god, we didn't clear there, and I probably could have if I just switched my cards around. Whoops! I don't think there's anything wrong with spending money, by the way, on entertainment. It's completely fine, right? For example, a lot of people I know people that go to, like, the movies every week or every other week, right? That adds up. That's a decent amount of money, but it's worth it to them, right? That's you want to put some degree of your money towards, you know, entertainment generally, and that's fine and that's healthy. And like some people are just really into movies or whatever, and you know they're happy to use it that way. And so if you put like that kind of money, you know, into whatever your hobby is, could be buying models, right? I know people, and even myself, I buy some models. You know, and you put money every so often, you know, like I know people that buy a model like every month or even every few weeks, right? And they just like to buy a new model, and that's fine. I don't think that's unhealthy or anything. And same for gacha games. If you like gacha games and you know or any, you know, game like Lost Ark or whatever, and you want to put a reasonable amount of money into it, that's fine. But a lot of times what happens is these games try to like bait people into spending more money than they should, and we're like, at first you might be like, yeah, I'll put the kind of money into it that I'd put into a movie ticket, but then the games, you know, do things to try to, you know, get you to keep spending, right? You know, sunken cost fallacy and those kinds of things. And that's where I think these games just go too far, right? Just straight up. You know, I think it's okay for free-to-play games to monetize themselves with like selling skins and things like that. And like I think gachas can be done in a way that's responsible, especially when they have a reasonable, predictable, you know, clear safety nets that aren't, you know, over the top and, you know, require too much spending and stuff. Like I think gachas can actually be fair, and occasionally I think gachas are fair, but you know, a lot of them aren't, and I think they really, you know, muddy the waters and what's legal and not, honestly. And honestly, I think a lot of these companies are getting so greedy over time, and they're pushing it so much that at some point, you know, the governments are going to slap them down, and they already have in some European countries and stuff. So yeah, I think eventually they're just going to push it too far. I think they already have in some areas. So yeah, I have Gundam models. There's actually one that I really want to finish because I was making it and really enjoying making it, and then that's when I got so sick from my allergies, and that lasted so long. I just felt so shitty for so long. I kind of put it to the side, and then I haven't just sat down and got back into it, but I need to do that. I really like building models. It's just a time thing. That's the only issue. If I was retired, I would build models quite a bit, actually. Like if I was retired, I didn't have to give a fuck. I would do quite a bit of model building because I just enjoy it. It's fun. I like that kind of thing. I remember when I was fairly young, my father got a pretty detailed like jet fighter, right, model, and I was like, oh shit, that's awesome. So I kind of always had an interest in it because of that. Okay, how many of these do I need to do? I wasn't really paying attention there. Okay, I can already do that one. Are these sharing mats? They are. Okay, let me do it a couple more times, even though these might unlock a free quest. Let's just autopilot it and get this out of the way, and then we'll get back to the good stuff. I love jet fighters. I think they're awesome. It makes me very sad that they're so unhyped when it comes to like video games and movies, anime. I don't even know why. Like they are such an engineering feat. I don't know if there even is a greater engineering feat from humanity. I guess the sad part is just because, well, I guess it's not a sad thing, it's a good thing, but because there's not a lot of wars between first world countries, there hasn't been any need to make more up-to-date jet fighters. So a lot of the jet fighters out there are actually incredibly old, although they update them and they, like, you know, they update the engines and they make tweaks to them to make them more modern, but they're still ultimately really old designs. Anyway, they're still an amazing accomplishment. Humans have always wanted to fly, of course they have, and jets can fly faster than anything on the planet, right? You know, we kind of eclipsed birds a little bit there. Yeah, they're just awesome. I think they look awesome. Their speed is incredible. the the things that they can pull off are insane. Yeah, you got like Ace Combat, and that's like it. That's like the only thing that's ever given any hype to jet fighters. They're what I always find obnoxious in movies is you'll have like a Godzilla movie and the jet fighters are like fighting it at close range. I'm like, are you kidding me? And like, yeah, in extreme circumstances you might have to do that. I mean, they put machine guns on jets for a reason. Very occasionally you do have to fight at closer range, but you don't. No one is getting in a goddamn F-22 Raptor and seeing Godzilla and like, yeah, let's get an arm distance of that thing. What? Like, you have missiles that can lock on with a fucking satellite, right, that can destroy a city block, and you're like, yeah, let's get close to this thing. That's just stupid, right? Like, the movies always do that, right? Like, it's because the monster has to win, right? And it's physically impossible for the monster to win if jets are actually being intelligent. Also, movies and anime and everything always nerf a lot of airstrike nonsense. They always make it like, oh man, the airstrike from a jet fighter can blow up a car. No, like generally they can level a city block if they want to, right? Now, of course, we make missiles that don't do that because you don't always want to destroy a goddamn city block. You do sometimes want to be more precise than that. But if you're fighting Godzilla or whatever, you're obviously not equipping them with that kind of crap, right? You're gonna equip them with the bunker buster nonsense. But for some reason, in all the movies, the jet fighters are shooting these missiles that barely do anything, a little tiny explosion, no oomph, and then they're at close range for some reason, and then oh wow, they got swatted by the monster's hand. Like, yeah, it's stupid. But yeah, that's just called plot armor. Yeah, when you look up some of the crazy shit that you can put on jet fighters, it gets pretty scary. But yeah, I don't get it. You have like Gundams and shit, and they get to fly around and do stuff, but then you can't have jets. Like, why is it okay for? Why do people like? I like mechs. Don't get me wrong. I like Mech Warrior. I like Gundam. I like all kinds of mech stuff. I don't have a problem with mechs or anything, but why is like Mech Warrior a thing and Gundam a thing and all that? But then we basically have nothing for jets. I don't get why we're so hyped for one and not the other. Like, jets are like real world, like, tech like that. Like, I'm not even complaining if people like mechs more, but if you like mechs, how can you not also like tanks and jets, right? Because they basically are the real world equivalent. And that's pretty interesting, right? So I don't get the hate. By the way, I'm that guy in like, even though I like Gundam and stuff, every once in a while Gundam will make like a mobile armor instead of like a suit, right? They'll make a mobile armor, which is not humanoid, that is like way more aerodynamic or more realistic looking, and I always like those more than the mechs, like every time. So I'm that guy. Tanks and jets don't have faces. A lot of mechs don't have faces. Like some really popular mechs, mobile suits from Gundam don't have like faces. They'll have like visors and like GMs and Zaku's and shit. And there's like tank mechs and stuff that get pretty popular. And like Mech Warrior is it's not as popular now because they stopped making the games. But in Mech Warrior's era, it was very popular, and they don't have faces, right? There's a lot of mech related stuff that are popular. That yeah, they're not that humanoid. They may be somewhat humanoid, but I actually think a big part of why mechs are more popular than like futuristic like tanks and stuff is because they don't even like there isn't even media to expose people to for like jets or hover tanks or whatever sci-fi thing you want to do, right? You don't have like a really well-made anime or something that's on the quality of like Gundam 0083 was with animation or something that's more jet focused. There's a little bit, there's some media that's you have like Ace Combat, and there's been like one or two anime that have used jets and stuff. But that stuff is so rare that I don't think anyone would ever even they don't have like a hook to get people into it anyway. And like normally when you see like hover tanks in like a game or an anime, their designs aren't very good. They're shit. I actually saw a guy complaining about this. There's this guy on YouTube that really likes tanks and like sci-fi tanks and stuff. And he was basically talking about that. When you see hover tanks in most media, there's so little effort put into their design that they just suck. But you can find people out there, like fans and stuff, that make hover tank designs that find a way to still look practical and cool. You know, they've kind of mixed it the two, and they're way better, right? They're so much fucking better. But you don't ever get to see that stuff in like anime or whatever. Metal Gears are okay. I've seen a few of them that are alright. I don't like them as much as a lot of other mecha design out there, but they're alright. I like Metal Gear Rex in Metal Gear Rising, and I like how it could like spam missiles all over the screen. That was awesome. Yeah, I don't mind it, but it's not like a top tier mech design to me, but it's not trash by any means. Had like the best theme song ever, by the way. Genshin's writing started off a lot better in my opinion. It wasn't perfect, but they had some side quests in the early days that I actually think were written pretty well and had pretty engaging topics, like Venti's side quest, although it took way too long to get to the meat of it. But I think the writing really took a nosedive as the game went on. And I've heard a lot of the writers quit and stuff, so maybe it'll get better with time. But yeah, I agree. Genshin, that's a big part of why I quit, was the writing became unbearable to me. And you couldn't skip it anymore. You used to be able to skip it really fast, and now they don't let you do that. And so I just got so tired of coming through hours and hours and hours of just garbage to get to like that one boss fight that I cared about. Oh, who cares? Ray, Rex, Metal Gear, whatever the fuck. It don't fucking matter. I'm making Metal Gear fans mad now. By the way, Metal Gear Rising's the best Metal Gear game. Fight me. Although it does have like terrible camera and a somewhat shallow combo system. Typing so fast, I'm almost having my finger. I'm actually gonna be perfectly honest. How did Beastly get thwarted? Feels bad. Anyway, can someone get permit Beastly real quick? Do we have a mod? What was I saying? Some Metal Gear. Oh, I've actually never played another Metal Gear game other than Rising. But I know what they're about. I've watched people play them. I understand what they are about, like, very much. And they don't honestly interest me that much. I'm really not that interested in most of the Metal Gear games. Rising was the only one that I was like, okay, this is better. Okay, I think I need to do one more stage. I need 5 more of that one resource. Do we not have a mod here? Fuck. Well, that works too. Thank you. Man, I don't know who gifted that sub chat. What happened? I got a blank gifted Beastly a sub, but I don't know who did that. Thank you, mysterious stranger. All right, let's do waiver just because it'll work too. Early Armored Core. Yeah, I know Armored Core has some tank designs. Those are really normal looking, but they've got some more sci-fi ones I know in some of their later games, and they kind of vary in effort. Like some of the vehicles in Armored Core are pretty damn lazy, but every once in a while, actually, I think Armored Core does make some side vehicles that are pretty awesome, and they have made like in Armored Core 4 and 4 Answer, there are times that like they make jets and stuff like really dangerous, and like they'll make a stage that's very gimmicky where you're fighting like a submarine or whatever, and it's like a big deal. So that they put some effort into it, which is nice. At least with Armored Core, this is what bothers me. Okay, if you're gonna do kind of like, you know, sci-fi, you know, be intentionally a bit unrealistic, that's fine. That's not a big deal. If you want to make mechs, more power to you. It's your story, it's your game, it's your manga, whatever it is. If you want to do, you know, humanoid mechs, go nuts. That's totally fine. If you don't like jets, you don't like jets. That's not a big deal. What I don't like is when they want the story to be about mechs, and then they try to bullshit some like in-universe, down-to-earth, scientific, logical reason why mechs are better than tanks and jets.
and act like that's why everyone do. That is so stupid. Don't do that. And because they think they're big braining, and they're like, oh, you're not going to use tanks and mechs here because Muluv does this, right? Muluv tries to be like, oh yeah, jets obviously are like stronger than a mech. It's more practical than a mech. But because these enemies have like these laser tracking, you know, lasers that can only go into the sky, though, then you can't use jets. That doesn't make any sense. Like, even if that's true, the answer is not to make humanoid mechs. If you have the technology, right, to make humanoid mechs that can move like that and have jets like that and have armor like that, you would just apply that kind of technology to an unhumanoid design, be it more airplane-like that can hover closer to the ground, or a tank. There's no reason for the human form to be what you would want to use technology on like that, with the exception of maybe building or like a power armor and like smaller scale. There are some reasons to do, you know, mecha stuff or humanoid shape, and we actually have some of that in real life. We're starting to make exoskeletons and stuff. But for like straight warfare, you don't want to make a giant humanoid robot, right? Now, if you want to put it in your story, that's still completely fine, but do not try to give a logical explanation for it, because there is no logical explanation for it, and you just sound stupid when you try to half-ass an excuse why you would, you know, do that instead of using a tank or whatever. It's so silly, right? Like, if you could have mechs that can side boost, you could put that on a fucking tank and it's just way better. Like, tanks are just so much more practical. There's a guy on YouTube that made a video about this, like really breaking down why a tank is way better than a humanoid shape. And even if you had the technology to make like a mech move like it does in Gundam or something, where it's like really maneuverable and everything, why you would want to put that technology on a tank instead, right? Because like the logistics are just insane when you really think about like a human leg dealing with like mud and all these other shits. Like treads are just better. The way you can move like sideways while aiming in a different way, that's all. It's just better. Like humans did not take over this planet because of our shape, right? You know, a human is not beating a fucking tiger in a goddamn, you know, physical fight, right? We didn't get to the top of the food chain because of our physical capabilities, right? We got it because of our brains and our opposable thumbs, really. You know, it's got nothing to do with the human shape, for God's sakes. You know, if you're fighting a shark, you don't want to be in the human form. It's not great. But yeah, if you want to be unrealistic, totally fine. I have no beef with that, right? I enjoy stories. Like, my favorite mech stories are the ones that don't try to be like too realistic. I want them to be realistic in terms of having internal logic, right? I don't think there's ever a time you shouldn't have internal logic, except for maybe like a parody, right? A parody show or something. It's probably okay if you don't have internal logic. But like, if you're gonna make a mecha series or a magical girl series or whatever it is, I do think you need to be internally consistent. If you demonstrate that like this gun has this power, it needs to stay at that consistent level, right? If this armor is showed to be this tanky, it needs to stay at that level. Same for Fate, right? Like when you show how powerful Excalibur is, right? You don't want it to be like, you don't want Excalibur to like one-shot Medusa, but then, you know, fight someone else that is actually like less tanky than Medusa, but then somehow that person face tanks Excalibur because the plot dictates it, right? That kind of shit sucks, right? That's what we call plot armor, right? That stuff is always bad. So yeah, logical consistency and internal logic is really good, but being realistic, like relative to the real world and real science, I don't think that's necessary. Unless, of course, your show or manga or game or whatever is like, you know, trying to be in that realm. And that's cool too. I think there's room for both. I've seen movies or shows or whatever where they're being, you know, a bit fantasy, but they're also trying to keep it fairly grounded and be logical about it and stuff. And that's fine. So I think there's room for both. I just don't like when people try to double dip and they just do a really bad job at it, right? Because you'll have like a writer that writes a manga or a visual novel or whatever, and they're not really in the know. They're not a scientist, or they're not an engineer, or they're not like, they don't know a lot about tanks or jets, and that's fine, totally fine. But then they'll try to make some bullshit, you know, air quotes, logical reason why mechs are better in this universe than jets and tanks. And when you actually sit down and think about it for 5 seconds, it's like, wait, but you would just do this or that, and that wouldn't matter, right? And it's just like, so don't even bring that up, right? Because like, at least with Gundam never actually explain. They never give a reason as to why the humanoid shape is somehow like the meta thing to do. They just is. They just made mechs for some reason, guys. And I definitely think that's the better way to go about it. How tanky is Medusa? I kind of forget. I think she has a decent... I know she has really high strength, but let me see here. What is her endurance stat? I can't imagine it's that high. But I doubt it's really low. I'm expecting it to be medium. But she has no defensive, like, stuff. She doesn't have, like, a skill or anything that is, like, defensive. The most defensive thing she has is the Blood Fort, because it can nerf her opponent so they don't hit her as hard. So that's kind of defense. But, alright, parameters, face tonight. Let's look at her, though, with her best master. So let's see, with... Wow, no, her endurance sucks. Pretty much every time she's ever been summoned, regardless of which master it is, her endurance always sucks. Yeah, her endurance is D. I think it's always D. It's E. Okay, it's D all the time, but then with Shinji, it's E. So yeah, it's always terrible though. So yeah, it looks like she's normally D, but yeah, Shinji made it even worse. But yeah, that's terrible. So she's not tanky at all. Like her thing is speed, obviously. But she's actually really strong though. Her strength is B, which is pretty high, but then she has monster strength at a really high rank. So when she really wants to be, she can actually strong arm you quite a bit. So yeah, very, very powerful, but not very tanky. So yeah, not... My point is though, she obviously did not survive Excalibur at all, like not even close. So you don't want like another character that also has, you know, D rank endurance or E rank endurance or even lower, right? And they also don't have any defensive stuff, and then they miraculously like barely live, you know, Excalibur. Yeah, they'll probably make them injured, but they somehow survive Excalibur, right? That would not be consistent. That would just be stupid. But Fate's actually terrible about that stuff. They pretty often will not be logically consistent. They used to be kind of okay about it, but as time has gone on, they're pretty atrocious. It does depend from writer to writer, though. There have been like random writers that I think have put a lot more effort into it and done a good job. But yeah, if Medusa wants to survive things, she wants to do it through dodging, not tanking. That's actually most servants. I actually find like tanky skills or tanky NPs are kind of rare in Fate. They don't make them that much. Yeah, she only survived Saber Alter Excalibur because of Ro Ias. That was the only reason. And even that, I have to say, was a little silly when you look at how like... Well, that's right. The Shiro had Amiya's arm, so it was stronger. That's true. Yeah, okay, it's still a little silly, but it's way more believable. Okay, Spartacus is different because Spartacus has like EX rank endurance and battle continuation, all these things, and obviously he starts growing. So like just through mass, your attack won't even like hit that much of him anymore, so it's not as damaging. So yeah, Spartacus is a trip. Alright, this one's only level 30. Oh, here, let me stop being lazy, though, and, actually... Okay, so 9 hours, probably not here. And we need to check out, hey, look, another, Europa. That one is scuffed as hell, though. Also, I will remind everyone, if you want me to use something, put it in the alt slot, because I'm not gonna go to... Because I don't know what stage I'm doing, right? If I'm filtering through random stages... You know, I don't want to... It's going to change, what's relevant. So I need to just look at the alt slot, scan through it. If we see something good, we'll go with that. So keep it in the goddamn alt slot. That is an awesome Lu Bu, though. I definitely like to find a use for that. But yeah, I'm going to nuke the people that haven't been online in a while, because I'm going to presume they're not in chat. So, and I need to, like, remove the people that I added last time, just so other people get a shot, right? I can't... Eventually, I'll just run out of space, so... let's see here. I think that's one we added last time. I think Lubadub is what we had last time. I know Lubadub's in chat though, so I guess we'll just keep him on there then. It's mainly the people that aren't in chat that I should nuke. I don't even know who that is, but that's a face. Okay. All right, what stands out to us the most here? Probably that Lu Bu. Yeah, I'm just gonna add that now. Okay. All right, what do we got here? You know what? The Lu Bu's on the top of the list, so we're just gonna go with Lu Bu then. Berserker on Berserker is very unpractical, but we'll see if it works out. Yeah, actually, Nasu agility does not actually tell you how fast a servant is. It's stupid, but it just doesn't. Agility is weird. They straight up say, they're very clear about this, Artoria is faster than Kojiro. Kojiro is just like more agile than her when it comes to like his motions, right? Like his ability to move his arms around and like the techniques he can do with his sword are more agile than Artoria. But they're very clear about it. Artoria is faster than Kojiro, even though Kojiro actually has the highest agility stat in Face of the Night. But he's actually like the slowest servant. And like Medusa and Ku are way faster than him. But they have a lower agility stat. But so what Nasu has talked about Ku and Medusa specifically, and what he has said is Medusa has both Ku and Medusa are insanely fast, right? He said they are both like they're the fastest servants in Face Day Night, right? They're both faster than everybody else. But Medusa is her top speed is higher, right? If they're gonna run in a straight line for an hour, Medusa will get there first, or go farther, right? But if there's like stops and turns and you're changing directions, then Ku's better because Ku has better acceleration. Basically, Ku can like stop on a dime and then go the other way and immediately be at his top speed, right? That's like, and that's why like they refer to him as having like beast-like agility. You know, he can basically leap around and jump off a wall and you'll be going every which way, and he's basically maintaining his top speed. So they both are incredibly fast, but to be clear, like Ku is still really, really fast in a straight line, and Medusa is still has good acceleration. It's not like Medusa has to stop and like rev up her engine for half an hour, right? Like they're both really good in both fields, but Ku is better at like maneuvering and changing direction and that kind of thing, and getting to his top speed as quickly as possible. And then Medusa is just faster in the long run. But like, so basically short distance, Ku's better, long distance, Medusa's better, maneuverability, Ku's better. But they're both super, super fast. And then Kojiro is actually the fucking slowest, but Kojiro has the best, skill, finesse with his weapon. And that's why his agility is so high. And I would imagine it's the same thing for Sitting Master. I doubt Sitting Master is even in the running when it comes to like a foot race or, leaping over a building or something. But I imagine his agility stat is more representing his, finesse and whatnot. But the agility stat is just bullshit. Like, out of all the stats in Fate, it is the most bullshit. It doesn't mean anything. It's so vague. The writer can, like, manipulate it to kind of mean anything. Because you have servants that are really fast that have low agility. It means nothing. I think agility is the most meaningless stat in Fate. It is just nonsense. No, Hassan's not faster. He is very fast too, though. But like Ku actually was catching up with him. That's like the only way Hassan can keep Ku, like slow Ku down, is by making Ku be distracted by his drakes. But Ku was catching up to Hassan, and that's why he was trying to do stuff to slow Ku down. And that's also Ku with a restrictions. So. And no, Hassan cannot dodge all of Ku's attack. What are you talking about? What the I swear this is like anime bullshit, because like in the anime they make it look like, Hassan is just way better than Ku, but it's literally not how the fight goes in the visual novel at all. It's quite the opposite. That's one of the reasons I don't like the animes, because they make it look like Ku is weaker than Hassan, where it's actually the other way around, where Hassan could barely do anything to stay alive. And that's when Ku is nerfed by Kodamine, by the way. Yeah, I remember there was this guy that watched, this was a long time ago, like when Heaven's Feel was only in Japan, right? It was only in Japanese theaters. And there was this guy that was in Japan that like watched it day one, immediately on the premiere. And I remember he posted on, I think, Reddit or something. And I remember him like kind of going over like, how it was compared to the visual novel. And he was like, yep, everybody's going to think Hassan is way stronger than he is because of this movie. And he was right. I remember him saying that, and he was completely right. The movie just changed so much shit to make it look like Hassan was just like stronger than Medea and stronger than Ku and all this, and Artoria and everything. It's super, super bullshit. But most of the changes, they were done to just make the first movie more actiony, because if you look at the beginning of the story, right, if you're going to separate Heaven's Feel into movies like they did, if you were more like reasonable with the character powers, like their powers actually are, the first movie would be super boring, right? It's not very action packed. So they tried to like spice it up. So like Ku versus Hassan was more, you know, cinematic and, you know, more like back and forth and, you know, not like a one-sided shit show. So that's like them basically trying to make it a better movie, right? That's what they're doing. But it obviously makes Hassan look like way too powerful, which is kind of silly. I mean, he looks. I mean, yeah. Like if you pay attention, even in the movies, you know, he's obviously, you know, on the defense and stuff. But he comes off as pretty powerful, I would say, in the movies, like way more so than in the visual novel. Also, the visual novel just gives you more context. Like, not only is the fight is so much shorter in the visual novel. It's not like this big. They're not on the fucking highway and all this, you know, cinematic nonsense. None of that happens. But yeah, the fight's a lot shorter in the visual novel, and Hassan has like no chance. And that's how quite a few of the early fights are actually, where they're not like that interesting. They're not that, you know, engaging. But yeah, the movie obviously doesn't give you the context that Ku is nerfed, where the visual novel does. So that's a whole other shtick, though. Okay, what the hell is the gimmick here? It just increased attack, so this thing's gonna kill us, I imagine, really quickly. You know what? I think we guts. I bet you this thing can one-shot us. So I'm just gonna try to kill it in 2 turns then. Show off these awesome Lubu animations. Hassan is a really good servant. Kursarm is very good. He's a very good servant, but he's not... Like, I really dislike this because it makes Ku look bad, but it also makes Hassan look bad, and it's just stupid, right? What's his name? Zokin? What fucking bug boy? He's an idiot, right? Like, he's dumb. He gets saved by plot armor 1,000,000% in Heaven's Feel. Every decision he makes in Heaven's Feel is dumb. Right? Like, he actively sends out Kursarm to engage a lot of servants that would absolutely obliterate him, right? And if Hassan doesn't get lucky, he's going to die, right? It would be so easy for Kursarm, even in the context of Heaven's Feel, if there's no plot armor, it would be so easy for Kursarm to die to Ku way before you ever got to the Shadow. Because you have like Death Flight and all these other things. Like, it's stupid, right? And like, Zokin does that so much, where he has Kursarm do things that are suicide and only work because he's like, you know, a really big antagonist, and he obviously can't, you know, get fucked up that early on in the story and whatnot. So Zokin is being saved by his own stupidity just because of plot armor, right? You don't use Kursarm that way, right? He basically uses him as a bruiser. That is so backwards. Like, he uses him as like a scumbag bruiser, but he still sends him out way too actively and like to just, you know, straight up confront servants and stuff. That's suicidal, right? What you want to do is you want Ku to fight Artoria, and then like when one of them beats up the other, then you use, while they're fighting, you use your NP on the one that's vulnerable, and then you gank them and then you leave, right? That's how you use a goddamn assassin, right? And that's also a lot cooler, by the way. I would much prefer, you know, Kursarm kill people that way, like he's supposed to, than like, yeah, let's go fight Ku head on, right? And then miraculously live. That's just silly. That'd be like, you know, Ku fucking killing, like, you know, Iskandar, you know, and like throws Death Flight and just somehow kills all of his Kandar's men. That's stupid, right? And when you look at like the numbers, that's impossible, right? That's clearly plot armor, and that makes Ku look stupider, right? I don't want Ku beating Iskandar through, you know, some horse shit like that. That's just silly. Actually, my chat had brought this up, and this is, if Ku ever fought Iskandar, it probably would be awesome, because, so like, Deathlight could never kill even close to enough dudes to destabilize the NP. Like, not even close, right? Excalibur can't kill enough. Like, again, not even close. Like, there's just so many of them. You need something like Karna's NP, or Aya, or maybe Gwen's NP, because Gwen's NP's shtick is how it has a bigger blast radius. than normal. But yeah, it's very hard to have an AoE strong enough to kill enough dudes. And Ku definitely just couldn't, like no way. But Ku could do his run, right? The 1v1 run. And that actually would be awesome. And it'd be really awesome because Iskandar's guys aren't bitches, right? They're actually very competent. They don't have noble phantasms and stuff, but they have proper servant stats. They're war veterans, they're very experienced. Obviously, though, Ku's got Bolg, and, he's one of the, he's Irish Hercules and all that. But that would be so awesome, right? And then Ku's got disengaged, so he can basically, bring his, return his stats to how they were at the start, so he can keep going for a really long time. Logically, though, I think Ku would lose eventually. I really do. There's just too many dudes. If you had like an amazing master that gave Ku, an amazing mana efficiency and all that, and if Iskandar's dudes were trash, you could maybe argue that Ku could do it. But because Iskandar's guys are not trash and they're very skilled, I don't think Ku could do it. But he would probably put up a really good fight and it would be awesome. So I think that could be a really cool, thing to see in a manga or an anime or whatever. But probably never going to happen. But yeah, that'd be awesome. So Spartacus versus Iskandar would be weird because if Spartacus could get fully charged, he would pretty much kill everything. But he might just die immediately, even with his insane stats and everything. When there's that many dudes, he's gonna die really quick because he'll be getting attacked from every side possible non-stop, and he could get hit by Iskandar's chariot. But if they were kind of stupid about it, that is kind of a weird one because if they didn't really prioritize killing him as quickly as possible and attacking at the same time and not like spreading it out, they could definitely get wiped out because Spartacus's NP is incredibly dangerous. They mentioned that in his character material book that like if Spartacus's NP is used wisely, you could wipe out an entire faction in APOC very easily. It's pretty scary. Yeah, I guess it is possible that Ku could outlast the NP. That would probably come down, because you have to remember, Iskandar had a pretty crappy master. Like, Waver is not a good master. So he had very inefficient mana. So it might depend on... I mean, I would say if they both had an average master, Ku probably would outlast the NP, actually. Because Ku is very efficient. This is a notable thing about Ku. Is Bolg has a special effect where it uses way less mana than an equivalent ranked NP. That's like a special thing about it. They even mentioned that Kodamine is not giving Ku mana. That's the thing. He's not giving Ku mana. He's not supporting him at all. And it says Ku can still use Bolg like 12 times in a row because it's just so mana efficient. So that is quite good. And the way his disengage works, it lets him last a really long time. That's why he was able to last 12 hours against Gilgamesh. And that's 12 hours against Gilgamesh with Kodamine not helping him. So, yeah, he probably, if they both have normal masters, he probably could outlast it. So if Iskandar, though, had like an amazing master and Ku had a trash master, then maybe he couldn't. But yeah, when I think about it, that's kind of boring. But yeah, he probably could outlast. The question is, though, would he be killed before he could last that long? So, like, how long can Iskandar keep the NP up with a normal master or a decent master, right? Like, if you have like a standard or kind of good master, how long can he keep it up? And it's kind of hard to say, right? And if is it long enough to take out Ku, right? So yeah, it's still that does make it more reasonable than for Ku. However, even if Ku outlasts the NP, it's not like Iskandar falls over dead, right? He doesn't. Iskandar's still quite capable himself and everything. But yeah, Ku has a chance, right? Now I will say this: it would just depend on the writing, right? They could just, plot armor is so powerful. They could just bullshit some excuse to have it go either way, right? They could bullshit an excuse where Ku can just pick off Iskandar and I win, or they could have it where they just forgot about mana. They forget about mana in Fate all the time, and they don't even think about like Iskandar running out of mana or Ku running out of mana, or it's just Fate rarely respects their own toolkits. It's a lot of plot armor. Like, there's so much plot armor. Some of the writers have been a lot better about that, though, so it depends. Well, we murdered the Nobu. Let's see, does this one give bonus? No, it doesn't, so we'll do the other one first. Yeah, they bullshit a lot of stuff, so... Every once in a while, though, you do get a story that I think puts in more effort to be logically consistent, and I normally enjoy those more. I actually wouldn't mind using Imiya. We don't use him too much, but he's got an event bonus. Let's see here. Pamcat's not something we see a whole lot of. Got our Toria there. Oh yeah, I still don't have auto because it's right. I was just like I was getting more spaces on the invites. I kind of forgot about that. All right, there we go. In before defeat. Do you have a fan, Ziggy? That always helps, I find. I mean, they weaponize plot armor in every single story. Where me, mod check feels bad, dude. That's a good use of mod check, though. But, yeah, I mean, every main character basically weaponizes plot armor. Wait, why would it be bad to fall asleep if your air conditioning was on? Do you like not want it on that long, or is it like gonna explode? What's the catch here? Alright, what's the gimmick here? Increased defense lasts forever. So armor ignore good. I think we're gonna lose, chat. Chat, place your bets. Are we gonna win? Like, this is not too hard of a stage. Oh, it's a bit harder than some of the prior ones, I will say. Especially for single target. But, I mean, I don't think your air conditioning being on for like a few hours should be that bad. She's gonna die. Yeah, I think we'll do our best. You got a good opening hand. Okay, what if you could insta-death the bronze ones? If you can, we should attack the gold one. Okay, that's what we're doing. We're gonna hope for insta-death, boys. It can get too cold. Well, I mean, fair enough. I like the cold though, so I normally don't worry too much about that. Okay, George living. Yeah, that is true. That's a common misconception that you can get sick from like rain and temperature and stuff. That's not a thing. You only get sick by being exposed. It's just that what can happen is like sudden changes in temperature or rain, stuff like that can lower your immune system. Because what might happen is this happens. You won't notice it, but sometimes you might touch a doorknob in public, right? And then like touch your face or something, but then your immune system just kicks its ass, and it never amounts to like a cold or a flu or anything. But you won't know when that happens, right? But what can happen is your immune system can get weakened because of the rain and things like that, and then you do touch, something in public that has, a virus on it or what have you, and then you touch your face or something like that, and then it gets you, right? So it can have an effect on you getting sick, but you never will get sick purely just from temperature changes and whatnot. Yeah, that's a common misconception, and anime fucks it up constantly. I hate this. This is such a trope in anime, and it drives me nuts. You'll have people that are out in rain for whatever reason for like 10 fucking minutes, and they're always like, oh no, look out, or you're gonna get a cold, and then so often in anime they get a cold for some fucking reason, even though they didn't like go to a public area where you would have like exposure to germs and stuff. It's like, what the fuck? Like, anime does that. I swear, I can't even think of an anime where characters are out in the rain or something, or the cold, and they don't mention getting a cold, right? It's crazy. It's like guys, that's not a thing. Please stop it, right? It's super dorky, but yeah, that's like such a trope in anime. I don't even know why. It's not like a plot point or a, like, They don't do anything with it, so I don't understand. Well, no, that's not true. I guess some of them will have like a cold episode, right? That is a trope, right? Like characters get cold, and that's like a whole shtick for an episode or something, right? But generally, there's no reason for it. Yeah, the home visit episode, right? Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's silly. All right, let's go ahead and cast this. The question, okay, if we don't insta-kill, we're just dead, right? We must insta-kill here. So I'm thinking no, I'll third skill because maybe I get art up. Fuck, that's bad. That's not even NP up. Well, good luck. Lady with the stylish hat. Insta-death, 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 insta-death. Come on, this is our only chance. Do it. Do it. Ooh! And look at that, she does insta-death after damage, so we get the we get the NP gain and all that. So actually, I should have NP'd the other one though, because the other one had more health. That actually wasn't that much value. It was some value though. So now just do it again. We need to oh. I thought this lasted 3 turns. Why? Chat, I gotta say, I wish this is the one thing I like about NA. I barely notice NA versus JP. It's the same thing. I have most things memorized. It doesn't matter. But this is nice, being able to click the skill and look at this. It just tells you death rate 1 turn. I will say it does not tell you how much death rate. Shit like that. You know, like with this one, it does not tell you how much art up. It's like, that shit's dumb. But it is nice being able to at least have the idea of what it does. But your fucking tooltips, like, what? Why would it? It's not hard to display like the percent. Why are they hiding it from us? What's the point of hiding how much art up it is? How does that improve the game in any way? Leonidas didn't die. I'm just gonna cheat a little bit here. This is actually kind of extreme cheating though, because of the NP could like hit our shield, but we have such a bad hand that I don't even care. And there's a saber here for crying out loud, so I don't feel bad about this. I'm actually not gonna use her card because it'll do so little, and I don't want to put the heal on cooldown. I feel like the command spell is fair because we are losing a lot from Leonidas still being alive. So this kind of just helps even it out. Wait, did it just remove my taunt? That's right, Tank Boo does have buff removal. So that was really bad. Good CS, shut up, Say. Oh, that was really bad. Uh-oh. I don't want to, I can't evade here. I have to just hope the NP doesn't hit Charlotte. I have to save that evade. I have no choice.
Hi.
Another CS. Okay, game. Okay, game. Finally, Leonidas died, though. God damn it. At least the attack stat on these Nobus is actually pretty pathetic. I don't have... Maybe I'm gonna go for damage and go for the middle one. And then I'll try to get my MP again and insta-death the other one with my first skill. We might have this, chat. The enemies really do have a lower attack stat than I thought. Alright, that's actually pretty good. Let's go level 100 2K foe. I think we have this. I'm impressed, actually. Well, I don't know if impressed is the right word, because, I mean, so many other units would solo this stage like it's nothing, but with how bad Charlotte is, I was expecting this to go a lot worse. Alright, NP gain is really all I care about, but I do want the heal. We'll do one, like, quick turn here.
And we'll do art. But yeah, this is still good NP gain because of Merlin and then I can Yeah, we're totally fine. These things aren't too dangerous. Hey, seriously, look at that damage. That's pathetic. See ya, Ziggy. Good luck with the heat. She isn't bad, you're bad. We wish. If I'm back in 10 minutes, I failed. Oof. 72k, damn. We didn't really even need that insta-death. We kind of just had the raw value there, but that's because their damage was a lot lower than I was expecting. Not far enough into the event yet. I know the Hydra is a pretty massive difficulty bump compared to a lot of these. Okay, that one gives plus. Does not. Alright, we'll do the mine. So it's level 60. We're slowly working our way up. Alright, we should, like, do this. That's a big Okita right there. It's a big Gil. All these 10-10-10 skills, very nice. Oh, Baskalore, I remember you. Get Oblivion. There's Auto, nice Queen of Sheba, buff win. That's a impressive unit right there. So Auto, I kind of just envisioned you saying that to the void. And just screaming into the void, I exist, baby rage. Let's see if we can get that MHXX real quick. We are fighting a Saber, so we have like half a bonus. Well, maybe that's too strong, but... Oh, it's back. Maybe we can't get that MHXX? There we go. Default. Atlas is normally best, but if it's an easier stage, you want the burst value, so we'll do default. I guess there's not much hope Sheba would get a buff though in the upcoming event unless she happens to be featured in it, which just seems unlikely. Is she a bonus servant? I guess that'd be the one chance. Let's look. I know they announced most of the bonus servants that are like old characters. Let's see, who are the bonus servants? I remember there was like no dudes. There's like 2 male characters and that's it. Any Sheba in here? I don't think so. I don't see her. Oh wait, no, she is a bonus servant. How about that? Yeah, the casters are Helena, Sheba, Edison, Book, and Nitocris. Oh, and Medea, Lily, and Antoinette. That's a hell of a lot of casters that are bonus servants, actually. Okay, actually there is some hope then. You never know. I mean, just because they buff servants doesn't mean they won't do it again. Like, they've buffed servants back to back with events. Like, obviously they're not going to do like a strengthening batch right now, but they could buff something with the collab. I'm not holding my breath or anything. Oh, I remember these. These crit insanely hard. Their NP actually does. Their NP doesn't hit very hard. But when they crit, they pretty much always one-shot you. Yeah, this text is correct. Tremendously increases critical hit damage. But their base attack is actually low, so when they do their NP, they don't actually do much to you. Buffing Bunyan would not surprise me.
These days, there hasn't been a whole lot of rhyme or reason to their buffs, aside from it often being like servants that are relevant for one reason or another. But they've kind of always done that. Alright, how we gonna live here? I guess the 42 one is the least dangerous. 55 one is the most dangerous. I can't imagine their damage difference is that big, though. We basically need to live to the NP turn and then preferably have full health. Which one's the battery? I think it's the third skill. Yes, third skill's the battery. I want to crit here. Yeah, an art crit actually would be pretty good. Alright, all the damage. Totally not slash Emperor, by the way. Damn, I was actually hoping we would kill with that, so the art would go in. Oh man, that is so unlucky. Like, we didn't crit with anything, and we barely killed it, so that really fucked up our NP game. Is she? I think she's 30%. That could not have been any closer. I was right. Well, and it could have been 69, and then we would have rounded up. So that's as close as it could be. All right, I guess on this one we'll do the Buster to get the NP up. Oh fuck! I fucked up. I should have evaded right there. That was a mistake. That might be the end of us. They can face tank the NP, but we don't want to face tank the crit. We're about to get weaved on. Not the weaves! Yep. 11k. You can't. There's a damage difference there between the two of them, though. Alright, hold up. Try that again. She might be able to do it. It's a little tough, though. Oh, this is where you get the katana command code. I never even thought of that. It's a command code that's really relevant even today. It's like a really good one. Pierce and vulnerability. Because, you know, of course a katana has pierce and vulnerability. But I didn't realize it was from this stage where you're fighting katana Nobus, mini Nobus. Very important detail. That makes me like the command code more, though. I bet you the story support gives you like a massive crit chance down. So they still get the bonus damage, but their odds of actually critting you are crap. At least for a few turns, I suspect. Okay, so doing damage at the start is actually important, so I'm gonna do the Buster card. Try to make sure this one dies. That means our next hand really needs to be good. Because we're pushing it so hard on killing that front one. I have yet to receive a CE drop. Oof, I got 2 CE drops on my main, but I don't think I actually got one on my ult, although I'm not sure. I'm not a crap since I care about too much. Okay, game, just die. There was the event prior where I got like 4 CE drops. That was ridiculous.
This is just a nice event, though. You can just have some fun. And a good challenge quest, too. Alright, solid opening hand. I don't actually need that much NP gain, but 2 cards is okay damage. I could actually NP right now, but I think we'll just take the Brave Chain. I'm gonna put Quick last, because we didn't crit last time and that sucks, so I wanna make sure we get the crit here. Got Starchin up on it anyway, so it should do alright. I really wish the colors in MHXX stage 1, I wish they were better. I don't like the colors very much, but I do like how it's mech nonsense. The colors are a little whack. Okay, so crit stars again. 38. Oh, there we go. Guaranteed to get 1 crit. I could do Buster, guaranteed crit, get NP up, and then NP, and then Art, but I don't think I need it. I think the 1 crit will do the job. I don't mind the scarf, I just don't like the coloring of everything. And I don't think any of the individual colors are bad. I don't mind pink or anything. It's just pink, white, purple, gold, black, blue, like... It's too much. Oh, yeah, there's red in there too. Man, if we got lucky here, wow. That's what we needed last time, because we wouldn't have died when I did cast the evade. But if I got lucky there, I could have saved this skill. But no point here. Maybe I go for the 168 one because I think I have a better chance of killing it, but I don't think I would kill either of them, so I'll just do that. Yeah, I would really like Ares / Mars. I'd be super happy with that. I'd love to see what his avatar form is. According to Time Moon, he designed it, so I'd love to see what it looks like. Hopefully they don't make it bad. I think that all of the Olympian gods that we've seen have good avatar forms, which that's obviously what we would summon, because that's what you summon for Artemis. I think all of them are pretty good. They all were like classical enough, but still anime, so I thought it was great, so I'm really interested to see what Mars looks like. So if I don't kill one of these, they'll get a 3rd action, and I'm probably dead. So I have to kill this turn. Well, 10, 40, 60. I don't think that's enough to do 47k though, so we're probably dead here. Oh, so close. It's 2k? Oh man, that meant if I did go for the 168 one, we would have killed it. Yeah, I could have lived here. I still would have lost. I wouldn't have had enough value left over though to finish the other one off. Even if it was definitely possible to survive that turn, but we didn't have enough gas. And Archer will make this too easy, so we'll keep it neutral for now. All right, we'll do that. That's kind of interesting. I don't think they will work, but you never know. See, my main account's about 500 SQ, so it's not really in good shape. But my ult account has like 1,200. So. That one is just so tanky. It's annoying. Not much you can do about it though. Yeah, I've been saving for a while on most of my ult accounts.
And I guess I've been saving for a while on my main account now, but I went down to such a low amount of SQ that it's taken a while to get up to enough. Feel like I actually have a shot at getting a 5-star. But they haven't added any 5 stars that I've wanted, so it's alright. Okay. Fire everything. I guess we go ahead and attack up. I don't see any reason not to. Well, we could have another NP that actually has a crit chance. Yeah, I'll wait. However, this could result in us almost killing it but then not killing it, which would be really bad. Yeah, I've never really regretted my roles aside from like I guess it just goes badly, but you know that's bad luck. It's not your decision to roll. I have pretty good willpower. I think I normally roll when it makes sense to roll, and I generally like the things I get. So wow, they didn't loop. That's really surprising. We kind of fucked then. They wouldn't have had the survivability for this anyway. Like even if that one was already dead and we looped and NP'd the other one, I still don't think it'd have been enough. I guess we go for the 168k one because it's just completely hopeless otherwise. I got the attack up this time, so they might... they should kill it. Oh wait, no, that's bad though, because they're still going to attack after the NP, because you have 2 actions per turn. So yeah, it's still going to attack NP, and then do a crit right after it. I wonder if 100 Face can do this. I bet you she can. I think I even did it off memory, because you get so much crit down that they actually don't crit you. And then they're so weak that they don't crit you. And you have enough survivability to get them down to a reasonable number, then you're alright. Yeah, I'm pretty... you need to be a really upgraded 100 Face, and you need the looping to go well. But I'm pretty sure it is possible. This is pretty tough at neutral though, although we haven't actually used a single unit yet that's an actually good solo unit. Like, we're using stuff that's not bad solo units, but we haven't used anything that's like, oh, it's got multiple survival skills and all that. We've just been using 1 survival skill, which is just average. Okay, fine. Why not? They are sabers, so... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I beat this with 100 Face back in the day on JP. But AoE is definitely superior here, I would say. And then of course units that have more survivability. But 100 Face has decent survivability, and then has a massive crit down. You know what? Let's see if we get a lucky crit turn here. It is nice though when they do add characters that I like, because because I have so many ult accounts, I pretty much always have an extremely good chance of getting them, or I guess nowadays guaranteed because of the safety net. But they just don't add 5 stars that I hype too often. It's more often that I don't mind the 5-star or whatever, but I like the 4-star. I end up rolling on 4 stars so much more than 5 stars these days. I might actually 3rd skill. Well, no, it's not really worth the attack up. The stars is nice, but not necessary. Do I go ahead and stun? Yeah, I think I go ahead and stun. Unless I want to invulnerability and have the stun buy me a turn. I think that's the way to go. Also, Atlas is probably better. I think we're doing this wrong. I'm actually really... I've been impressed with MHX over the years. It's both good, but not overpowered. And then there's some interesting things to think about when we're playing her.
So, yeah, she's actually pretty cool. I just wish she had a proper animation update. Like, hers sucks. She got one of those half-assed ones. She never got a full revamp. And it's weird, too, because she's pretty popular, so I'm surprised that they've half-assed it like that. Yeah, you can just tell her character model is not that great, and like when she's attacking, it's kind of like how Lancelot was back in the day. I guess we just fire everything here and delete this one. If she was a 4-star, I would roll on her and like make sure I get her. Because she's kind of in that interest level, you know, that I roll in a lot of 4-stars, but I'm not going for her as she's a 5-star. I'm not going to use that much SQ. Like, no way. That was excellent damage, by the way. And she's just level 90. Well, that's crazy. Because MHXX was level 100, so actually stat-wise, we're weaker. But niche-wise, stronger, most definitely. Can I get away with art? It's okay. It's not the end of the world if I don't crit next turn. Maybe I should crit art, actually, or quick art, excuse me. Fuck. So I need to phase tank one turn. I need to evade the turn after. This is gonna be close. So Atlas is better though. I think Atlas will be a better pick here. Can I do 11k? This is super annoying. What if I kill this one? I still have this? Okay. My extra attack can probably kill this one. You know what? We're gonna try to win next turn. So I'll evade now. Yeah, I'm gonna try to do Buster quick, and then NP to kill that one, and then extra attack target switch on the 11k. Yes, perfect. That's wow, that's great performance. That's really showing that anti-saber thing, because MHXX also has an anti-saber thing. It's just not as good. And MHXX was a higher level, so yeah, that clearly stronger in the niche. And that wasn't even optimized. We could have made that setup better. And for real, you could see it. A lot of the units we were using that just had like one survival skill, and even though they were good, like highly upgraded and good NP damage and stuff, they were hopeless. They weren't beating that stage, no way. I probably should have saved that and kept doing it a bit. That one was actually kind of interesting. Have we unlocked any more free quests? Was this a new one? No. I think this is still the current one. I don't have enough mats here. The Boudica. We really need to use that on something. I would actually summon it right now, but I should be at least so much smart about this and bring the bonus drops. We'll see if one of these stages pops up. We'll see if it's possible that Boudica could fight it. Is her third skill anti-saber? I'm pretty sure it is, yes. So she gets even stronger in that circumstance. It actually might be at the point where she's stronger against a saber than she is against a rider. But it's hard to say. I think she will do more damage. Well, okay, this is actually pretty complicated. She'll do more damage in the short term to a saber than she will a rider. But if the stage keeps going, she will still do more damage to a rider because she forever has the 100% damage against a rider. It never wears off. So if this fight goes on long enough, she still does more damage to a rider. But in the short term, she does more damage to a saber. And then survivability-wise, though, she's just better against a rider. So she's still kind of better against a rider than a saber, but it depends. And if you're using supports, and you're trying to win really fast and it's all about damage, then she is better against sabers, right? If you're gonna do like scatty and stuff and you're rotating battery servants and you're just go, she is stronger against a saber than a rider then. But I'd say for a normal player, like for most people, she'll still have a better performance against a rider. But that's good because her performance against sabers is still completely good. It's great. It's great, and then she's also great against riders. So she's basically counterclassing two things. So she's actually applicable more often than most single target riders, like very much so. It's like if it's a challenge quest and it's against a saber, you're not even handicapping yourself really by using MHX. You just have to think about, okay, she will take more damage though than like a proper counterclass will, so I might want to bring mash or something like that. But that's cool. That's fun actually. I'm gonna BRB real quick, chat. I'm gonna get water and take just a real quick break here, just like 30 seconds. Just give me a second. I gotta grab something. All right, I am back. I imagine though, like MHX fans, like if you're a big MHX fan, she's your favorite character. It's a pretty good experience in FGO because you save up, you roll on her every time she's rated up, you get like NP3 eventually or whatever, and then she's just applicable so often. Every rider stage or challenge quests you can use her, berserkers you can use her, sabers you can use her. She's got a very good toolkit where she's got good damage, nice utility, and then just a straightforward invulnerability skill. So that's a lot of times what you need if you're working with a strong support that can tank an NP for the team, and then she can take another one on her own, and then the Mystic Code, and the support one comes back, right? It's really easy to keep her alive forever. Like there's just that a very useful unit in a lot of circumstances, but not boring either, right? She's really unique gameplay, so. Yeah, I wish I was a bigger MHX fan. I don't hate her or anything, but I wish I was a bigger MHX fan because gameplay-wise and how often you get to use her is really cool. Excuse me, I'm having to open a box, but I got it. Alright, time for murder. I think I only need to do this stage once or twice. Man, the texture quality in the background is absolutely atrocious, but it still looks really nice. The drawn stuff looks so much better than the 3D render stuff. That's always the case with FGO. They don't have a very good 3D rendering in this game. I don't know if it's because of spaghetti code or like spec limitations, or they don't have the talent that is like really good, the technical stuff for 3D models. But FGO really does have atrocious 3D models. And there's other games that use the same game engine, Unity, that look a lot better. Now, I will say Unity really is not that great of a game engine. It's just easy to use, but it never produces like really well optimized games that also look really nice. It's just not that great of a game engine. It kind of, I find most games in Unity, even like PC games and stuff, they don't normally look that great. Like, they look better than this, but I don't even know why they went with Unity. I guess it's just because FGO was supposed to be shovelware. And like they've said that in an interview, like FGO is not supposed to be this big smash hit that lasted this long. It's just obvious, right? They hired a no. If they knew FGO was going to be this huge big thing, they would have hired a way more prominent dev than they did, right? DW at the time was nobodies, right? They were cheap nobodies that like cost them nothing. They just wanted to make shovelware. And that's really common when you look at like a lot of movie tie-in video games and stuff, things like that. They normally hire random devs. They don't pay them a lot. They just tell them to like, you know, shove out a game to meet the release date, you know, all that. And that's it. And that's pretty much what FGO was. And that's why they picked such a random dev. But anyway, I think they used Unity because Unity is pretty simple and easy to use and whatnot. But yeah, they didn't future-proof. If they knew FGO was going to be this big of a hit, I think they would have probably picked a better game engine, picked a more experienced dev. I wonder, was Sakura Wars Unity? Off my memory, what the game looked like, I definitely think that was Unity, but I'm not sure. I didn't really look into that. If Lost is here, he might know, because he actually played it. I remember Lost was so unimpressed by Sakura Wars. He was like, it's really crap. I zoned out there for a second. Not sure if I even cast my skills correctly, but shouldn't matter. This is probably the last free quest I need to do here. I've heard the Sakura Wars fans that are like fans of the IP, not the mobile game, were really unhappy with it because it damaged the IP, and it basically means no dev is going to want to touch it now. Because that game tanked so hard. And they're right, though. Most publishers are kind of stupid like that, where they see things in a pretty superficial way. And they'll see, oh, Sakura Wars did really bad there. They don't want to touch that IP again. It was kind of a random IP to begin with. They're not going to be like, oh yeah, it was a shit game that had a horrible development cycle and was, you know, clearly, it wouldn't matter what the IP was, that would have failed. All right, so we can do that one. We can do both of them, actually. We'll do this one first. This one does have a story support, so that normally means it'll be harder. Why not? Go Atlas. Does she have her buff yet? I guess not. I don't see the yellow number, so that's unfortunate. That was a pretty wild buff they gave her. I was actually surprised they even buffed her because she can snowball so hard sometimes. Wait, who's the publisher, Beastly, for that? Is it Sega? Because I think, yes, Sega is the one that owns the Sakura Wars IP, and I'm pretty sure they, like, you know, rented it out to DW. Okay, we got attack down and defense down. Did they just guard it, or was there some kind of gimmick? Because she's the only one that got it. For AoE, 9k. It's not 9k is not that bad. Sega publishes Total War. I actually did not realize that because I just had never looked into it. I knew about Total War, obviously, but I never knew that was Sega. Wait. I forgot to do my first skill. What am I doing? Mistakes have been made! Chad, I was just testing you. I wanted to see if anyone would notice. Gotta keep Chad on their toes, you know. Sakura Wars Total War. I don't think that's gonna happen. Man, I have to imagine that the Warhammer Total War games must have been a paperwork nightmare from like the legal standpoint of like who gets, you know, who goes well with the IP and who's allowed to do what, and the agreement nonsense must have been awful. So it said no effect, so it must be like female only or a certain alignment that gets debuffed. The obvious thing would be female, but there's no way to know if that's what it is. Something else. Oh, Divinity would make sense because, you know, Nobu. I wonder how big of an attack down that is. If this fucking game won't tell you. Nobu, could you, like, attack George, please? The, Elvis Nobus ain't gonna kill it. Come on, there you go. I guess at this point, I might as well kill the one Lancer. I can get overkill anyway, which is good. So you cannot remove this attack down and defense down with, like debuff clear, permanent. Maybe if you break her bar, though. Alright, here we go. The old monster strength. Not gonna do our second skill. Way too soon for that. Art, or Buster Buster? I think Buster Buster, because our damage seems to be pretty crap right now. 50%? Is it really? That's crazy. Okay, Jesus, her damage was still plenty high. Is it really 50%? Because goddamn, we're doing some damage now. I should have done art. Okay, I should be safe this turn. Man, I wish we had our gimmick. There's enough turns will have gone by that we could face tank an NP, I think. I think NP gain is more important than actually killing one of these Lancers. You do both. You do both. Okay. Might second skill next turn. It's nice when you can second skill, and this is at rank a 2-turn cooldown, and you Atlas it, and you just instantly apply it again. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be that long of a stage. We care not for the gimmick. I'm actually glad we're getting hit by the gimmick because this wouldn't be particularly interesting without it. Wow. Nice attack down, gimmick, you nerd. We just wasted invulnerability, but... Alright, just to show off. I love when you can just cast this again and you just instantly start getting the health again. So tanky. This song is called Grand Order from Grand Blue Fantasy, not FGO. So it's kind of funny, actually. Alright, well, King Potato Salad is not disappointing. It's a shame that we don't have our first skill buff, and then we couldn't, like, face tank an NP. Also, didn't we make it so she gets more health per turn? Let me look that up. Yeah, that's ridiculous. They don't just add the NP shield. That's crazy. Like, what? I don't even. What would prompted them to even do that? I don't think anyone ever was like, you know, guys, King Protea doesn't. She's not that good. No one said that. Everyone was like, wow, this is a really gimmicky servant. It can, you know, be really strong in the right kind of stage. It's kind of wild. It's like crazy that they even made this to begin with. And they're like, yeah, let's just make it better. This is just an extra. You get an extra 1,000 health per stack. And it stacks 10 times, so if you make it that far, it's an extra 10,000 health. It's like an extra Phantom of the Opera, right? Like her buff gave her another Phantom of the Opera. When her first skill basically gave you like 3 Phantom of the Operas to begin with, and now it's like 4 Phantom of the Operas or something. That's how you rank power, by the way, is the number of Phantoms. Look at all that free stuff. Why can't they do this event format more? It's so much better. Like, it's so untedious, right? This is like the least tedious event
of all time. You don't have to think about like, oh, I need more of the iron. Which stage drops iron, right? You don't. It doesn't matter. You do literally any stage, and you collect taxes essentially, right? It's awesome. Wow, my NA account though, not doing so good on SQ. Actually, I think the least SQ I have on any account, and it's because I just don't log in. I go massive amounts of time without logging in. I think I have a lot of summon tickets though, so there's at least that. No way, my older sister is a man! Exclamation point. They did that on purpose. That's like named like after a you know, a visual novel or an anime or whatever. They did that 100% on purpose. Like that's absolutely like a visual novel title. Like they know what they did there. Actually, Raditz is not really forgotten though, right? Obviously made fun of a lot, but he's not a unknown character at all. This one's back down to level 30. Well, there's Red. We use her so rarely. It's crazy how rarely we use Surfer Mordred. It's because I like regular Mordred way more. Also, she's kind of rare with the whole limited servant from a long time ago, yada yada yada. You just don't see her around too much. Yeah, real deal Nobu there. Cool jacket. This is basically that stage where they have the defense buffs, but there's no defense buff, so pretty easy. Nothing special here. Oh, they do have a little gimmick there, though. Super Mecha Nabu Mach 3. That's like some Gundam shit right there. Oh man, when Mordred Rider was first added to the game 27 years ago, her NP gain stat was just unbelievably low, and she basically would not gain NP from attacking. And that's one of the few things that they plot fixed. There was no buff quest or anything. They just patched the game and just changed the numbers. It was nuts. Like her original NP game was just like unusable. It was so bad that I kind of think it was bugged and like they accidentally just typed in the wrong number. However, they might have just been afraid of the whole art, because if you look back then, you didn't have a lot of units that would be like art and AoE and then multi-hit, right? Like there was very few units back then, and they may have just been afraid of the refund meta. If you actually follow FGO's development, they tried to prevent what Castoria enables. They tried very hard to prevent that, but eventually it just happened because of course, you know, the game slowly power creeps itself if they mean to or not. And then they just embraced it because of sales. Once it became the meta, it was the meta, and they had to release other units that were meta. So, but if you look, they were really trying to prevent that kind of thing. You've even got like Kurotsugu and 100 Face, where their NPs have a lower gain rate on them, right? And it's because they're art and they have a high hit count, so they were trying to, you know, fuck with it. Yeah, then you've got, yeah, like what Otto just said, you got, you know, the early Vlad and Hohenheim, and even Medea, right? That's why they gave Medea such horrible NP damage. is because like, oh, well, we're giving her this big battery thing so she could, you know, loop. Looping too strong, right? So back in the day, they would just nerf this shit out of like art stuff and multi-hit AoE stuff. They would always nerf the crap out of it. And even sometimes lower the gain rate. So that could be why Mordred's gain rate was just so bad, is they were like scared of it. Gundam Mock Nickel. I don't know about that one, Poi. That sounds like a fan fiction, Poi. Call me crazy. We're so close to having our NP. We could have easily gotten it in time, but we just didn't. Let's try to do low damage, because I want to hit all 3 of them. Also, yeah, high point. See, now, when you hear that voice line from Mordred out of context, it seems like normal summer bullshit. But when you think about the fact that she's murdering people, she sounds completely insane. Like actually way more insane than like Saber Mordred. I don't think they thought of that kind of thing. There's a lot of voice lines like that actually when you think about like here's Martha, Santa Martha, right? She's all happy and smiling and like talking about cooking and stuff, but she's murdering people, right? She's like beating people to death with chickens. And like that's not normal, right? This is not sane behavior, right? All right, I'm pretty sure we're just gonna win here. Now, do keep in mind our gain rate's gonna be lower because we're hitting 2 berserkers, and berserkers give you less NP per hit. But we'll still see what we get. If these weren't berserkers and we still had our battery, we'd probably be able to NP again next turn. Not that there is a next turn, but... so she'd probably be at like 60-70%, somewhere in there. Is her battery 30 or 20? I actually forgot. I have to look this up. It is 30. Okay, so yeah, it is pretty possible for her to refund completely on her own, especially against casters, because she is a rider, and where berserkers lower your gain rate, casters increase it, so she'll pretty easily be able to refund against normal stuff. And she has some of the best refund, but you're still not always going to get a freebie. It's not always going to be just instantly refunding yourself. But if the right setup, you can definitely do it. Because if you're in a team setting, even if you don't have Castoria, you could at least have Hohenheim, and then you're doing more damage anyway, and then way more refund, and you'll easily loop. I'd imagine there's plenty of players out there that do that. They've got, you know, Ryder Mordred from back in the day, then they just leveled Hohenheim when he got buffed, and then there you go. Right? Especially if Hohenheim can clear the first wave, Hohenheim clears the first wave, Mordred clears the second wave, and oh look, I easily looped, and now I've still got Art up from Hohenheim and all that, and you just NP again, that time with the Mystic Code, and you clear the final wave. That's actually a ridiculously easy way to 3-turn a lot of stuff. Hell, now that I think about it, not only is that super easy, but that means the third unit doesn't even matter, and that means you can just bring whatever, if you need more damage, because maybe it's a higher level free quest, or you're not counterclassing, you could just make that third slot whatever your best buffer is. And hell, I kind of wish I had Mordred Rider just to try that. I wonder how far you can push that. Like with just Hohenheim, Mordred, and then, you know, whatever buffer, I wonder how strong of enemies can you kill. Now that's definitely not gonna work though. That's not gonna work if it's one of those stages where you fight like one enemy. Like the one on JP right now, where you fight like the one dragon and then Booty Lancer by herself at the end and stuff like that. Not great for that kind of thing, but for like the 3-3-3 stages, it's pretty good. Well, the reason you use Hohenheim is like if you need the gain rate, right? Like if you're fighting berserkers or whatever, then you would do that. But if you don't need the gain rate, then yeah, you could do a Raj, Spartacus, you know, whatever. I wonder if anyone out there, I bet you there is, I mean, there's Grailed Blood Axes for crying out loud, but I wonder if anyone out there not only has a Grailed Hohenheim, but then they also have Ryder Mordred
And then, because then you're really getting somewhere, because Grail Hohenheim will definitely clear wave 1. If he, yeah, like a level 100 2k foe Hohenheim, that'll absolutely take care of most wave 1s. Alright, this one's level 60, so we're starting to get somewhere there. That was level 80, damn. I wish I had started this event a day or two sooner, because I'm mostly just playing it on stream, but I wish I'd done it sooner, because I'd have more time before the JP event starts. But there's a chance the JP event is going to be bad, and I won't really want to stream it much. So, if the JP event is bad, what we'll do is at the start of the stream, we'll do what is ever new to the event each day, and then we'll switch to NA and do that. So that's our backup plan. I mean, it's not a bad idea to max Hohenheim's skills regardless, because he is a useful unit for support and such. The only time you don't really need to is if you've got your own Castoria and you're okay with using her all the time. Like, if I had Castoria, I'd barely ever use her, so I'd still do it. But for most people, they'll probably happily use her. Although, I tell you, I've seen a lot of players, they're not as extreme as me, but I know a lot of players that they will use Castoria or what have you. Like, they'll use OP stuff. But they are happy from time to time to be like, okay, well, let's not do that here, though. Let's not trivialize it, and let's, you know, do budget stuff or whatever. Like, it's not that rare, actually. It's rare to do it as much as I do, but... Okay, 400k at neutral. Chance to tremendously increase attack when attacked. We're dead. We're gonna need a better unit than this. I do want to do it at neutral. If I remember correctly, doesn't the story supports Medusa? And I think she like stuns the shit out of it or something. Hey, we didn't actually buff him though. How about that? He also didn't kill George. Well, we're definitely buffing him now. I guess NA still doesn't have the buff that says Spam Command Code does it. Because I remember it didn't have it before, and I'm pretty sure it's a summer event, and a summer event has not happened, so... That's unfortunate. Because it's so good on Caesar. You guarantee not just one attack buff, it guarantees every single attack buff, which just gives them some of the most ludicrous damage in the game. If every single unit is level 100 in 2k foe, or I guess now level 120 in 2k foe, I'm pretty sure Caesar, I know he used to have the highest damage, it probably isn't anymore. With no niche, by the way. Like, if it with niches, you can have more. But, I think it might be like Masashi or Zigguard now. But I know he's definitely still up there, because the thing is, he's actually up there when you just account for natural level. So it's level 70 versus level 90, right? Because obviously low stars gain more when you go to 120 with everyone than a 5-star does. So it disproportionately will favor Caesar at that point. Do I just NP now and then hope I don't die? Yeah, fuck it. Get the damage while we can. Caesar, please land all the attack buffs. Time to get lucky. Oh, hi, Fury. Also, I don't think you even believe that, Fury, but, Hey, there we go. 140 at class neutral with no buffs from other units. Absolutely insane. Also, this brigand can kill us in 2 hits or 1 hit if he crits. When he had those buffs. Now those buffs are gone, but they'll be back in a moment. Okay, so I need to win next turn. Actually, I think we can do this. How about that? If I get my NP, we win. I think. Actually, not necessarily. We won't have all the buffs. Do I need to? I think I need to do damage and get my NP, but that's not going to happen. So I'll do this. We might be just short. I think we'll actually win if we land all the buffs, because we don't have the attack up from the Mystic Code anymore. But I think if we land all the buffs, we will still kill it.
負けん
Come on, Caesar.
そうい
I wish we had taken damage earlier, because then we'd have like the guarantee.
私は来た
You didn't land
な
one!
らば次は勝つだけのこ
You're one of the most famous rulers that ever lived, and you're over here like, I don't need my buffs. 80% by the way, yeah, fantastic. Look at that damage.
とすまねマスター
So yeah, if we had gotten hit for like 10k earlier and gone down to 3k health, that guarantees you land every buff. And I suspect that would have made the damage difference. It'd be close. It would have still been really close. I think we missed the crit too, so that was bad. Wait, which one was it? It was against Caster. I think it's this one. Okay. Now we could do it with Caesar again because he can definitely beat it, but we'll mix it up a bit. Sasha's interested. Oh, there we go. Okay, Fury, can we get a different CE? Because there's probably better than that. He probably wants just starting NP, I suspect. Boudica will get destroyed. Well, she is counterclassing. Yeah, we'll do Boudica next. We'll do Aussie here though. Yeah, I don't know, Fury. That's not a particularly good Aussie CE. He does have 2 art cards, but it don't make a whole lot of sense. I wasn't gonna say anything, but you know. I've had some moments where I don't know why the hell I have a craft essence on, and it's normally because I just swapped the craft essence between 2 units to save time, and I never swapped them back. I've had that happen before. Let's see, do you have someone else that might have had that equipped? I mean, Fionn, maybe? You could do Space Ishtar, I guess. Alright, let's see. Iskandar would be way too easy. We need something harder. I would absolutely use Iskandar if it was like any other class, but he'll just kill it. I mean, he'll just instantly kill it. Like 1 NP, boom, dead. Like game over. Like Boudica's more reasonable because she sucks. I mean, because she's a 3-star. That's why. She sucks for soloing. Like, let's be honest. She's not a good solo unit. She actually doesn't suck for team stuff. She's all right, but yeah, Iskandar will absolutely obliterate this. We should have used Iskandar on that one where they had like those buffs, the 3 Nobus had the buffs. That would have been a good time for it. Yeah, this would be way too easy. All right, Fury has been yeeted to the void apparently. There we go. You know, it's a shame that she's counterclassing, because using Fury's Medusa would be cool, because they want you to use the story support Medusa, and she gets like an extra gimmick that makes the fight a lot easier, where Fury's would not get the gimmick. But obviously Fury's is way better, because see, theirs is 664, no NP upgrade, although it does have the event CE, so 130%. But then yeah, Fury's is level 100, 2k, oh, it's another thing. She has no foe items. Let's just look at this, No foe items, and I presume no stats on her CE. Yep, 0, 0. That's amazing. So, yeah, 6,700 attack with shitty skill ranks. Yeah, compared to almost 12,000 attack, and then not shitty skill ranks, and has the NP upgrade. But alright, it's Aussie time. That is such good art, by the way. That Aussie Stage 4 is just, it's such a good picture. It's very good. Aussie will be 2k foe during this event, nice. I really dislike how story supports don't have stats on their craft essences, and they don't have foe items. So you're missing out on like 2,000 stats. That's huge. So anytime they give them bonus stuff, it's just, like if they make them level 100 or something, that kind of just offsets the fact that they're missing like basic bitch stuff. We actually want to proc the attack up
よかろ
because we want to make sure he one-shots. There we go.
ダジャク
Wait, Ozzy's counterclassing. Fuck. Why did I not realize that? This is not this is an execution right now.
これでどうか
Like this is just mean. This is so mean.
ダジャクダジャクダジャクダジャク
Like this guy's gonna die the second George is dead, right?
では行くぞファラオの真意を見るが
Well, we're already here, so I'll show the damage. But we want to do this at neutral. That is the idea. And Ozzy doesn't even have his buffs yet.
交尾をやろう
He's probably just dead to the NP. I mean, he might live. It's not an upgraded NP. But he's definitely dead
全能の神よ
this
我
turn.
が業を見よそして平服せよ我が無限の好機太陽はここに降臨せりラムセウムテンキリス
Well, he's still alive, barely.
ダジャクダジャク
48k non-crit. Probably like 55k here. 59, and then you get the 3 of a kind bonus, first card bonus. All those attack ups apply to the extra attack. That extra attack just did so much damage. Imagine if he gets his passive that boosts his extra attack damage. And they buffed this guy twice for some reason. Like the first buff I could buy, I was like, that's a little silly, but the first buff I was okay with. The second buff was just like, he's already the best rider in the game. Like he's already the best rider in the game. Why did he need double buffs back to back that also synergize with each other? That's the thing. They're not just good buffs on their own, they actually play off of each other. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, he's a good pick for your free 5-star, absolutely. Yep, cooldown reduction, he needs that shit. Okay. We need a neutral unit. Excuse me. Okay, we've got Taiga. Okay, we'll try that again. She had a hard time last time, we'll see if she can pull something off here. You die pretty quick in this fight, but 400k is not too hard to do. I actually think buffing Ozzy the second time was more ridiculous than buffing Ku, because Ku is definitely like the best of the budget stuff. But he's not the best of the units, like Lancers in the entire game. Especially if he's not grailed, right? Like he can, if you grail him, if you grail everybody, if everyone's level 100, Ku is among the best Lancers in the game. Right, then he gets kind of apples and orangey and that kind of thing. But Ozzy is just like the best rider, period. Right, like he's at least for single target, not for AoE, but like he's so good. And then the first buff made it, like before his buffs, it was a little debatable who the best single target rider was. But then after his first buff, it's like, okay, yeah, best rider, it's definitely Ozzy. And then they're like, by the way, we're buffing him again. And then they buffed Buster in general by adding Veach and, what's that ugly insect piece of shit? Oh, I wonder what character that might be, chat. Chat, I know who it is. I don't think we need that. Okay, George, buddy, what are we doing here? Are we not landing the attack buff on the boss? Like, what's the deal here? Shakespeare. 3 health, by the way. Where's the attack buff? Look at this, he's over here doing 800 damage because counter class and the defense buff. And when he gets the attack up, he did like, you know, 6,000 or some shit. Kind of cheating. We're just getting so many turns for free here, but we're not. I'm not going to NP or anything. We're not taking it. Doesn't matter that much. This is kind of like if we just got a Brave Chain every fucking turn. I got like a lucky crit on the second turn. All right. Chat, this is not a jungle. I feel like jungle is actually such a rare field type. Some of the like field niches actually come up all the time, but yeah, I feel like Taiga never gets her bonus. There's wood in the background, that's true. 145 though, damn. Oh shit, oh look at these crits. Damn! So, even without that George stuff, I think we still would have won. Because I could guts here. Actually, I'd probably have to guts here anyway. Let's make sure she can kill. Oh yeah, of course she can. Yeah, we can just close it. Because even if she didn't kill this turn, we have guts. She can absolutely do 32k in 2 turns, and she's got attack up, buster up. Yeah, she's got it. That's quite good. That's actually her exact kind of stage, though, because it's all about burst damage, and longevity is not, you know, needed generally. So that's really good for her. All right, we'll do Boudica. It's like the only reasonable counter class that we could do, unless of course she is a bonus servant, which I don't think she is. We could try Say, but that would be a little rough. Okay, where Cap'n though? There we go. I guess she's in the all slot. There we are. Not the CE I would have gone with, but we'll make it work. Default. So the problem is, if we ever get a turn where we proc like 3 of the attack up, we're just dead. Maybe we have a command code to remove an attack buff. That I'll check. That'll help. You remove 1 buff and you're removing so much damage from him. I don't have a favorite Mystic Code. It's like they're not really something that, like, they're not like a unit, right? They don't have a personality. They're just gameplay, and you know, they're not. Okay, so like in a fighting game, chat. Although you do have a meta that's very easy to track in terms of like hitbox sizes, move speed, recovery time, you know, what kind of options the character has. There is still a lot of like room for creativity with like mix-up and play style that has a big effect on like how much you might like or dislike a character, regardless of how good they are. Mystic Codes are not like that in any way. You know, Mystic Codes, there is a right and a wrong answer, like, and it's easy to figure it out, right? Now, sure, let's say you were on an abnormally tough challenge quest with a wacky team. You might have to try it several times with each Mystic Code to figure out which is the best one, but there is going to be a clear cut, this Mystic Code is just best here, right? It's not a subjective thing at all, like, at all, like, no, it's pure numbers. In a very straightforward way. So yeah, I don't give a shit about Mystic Codes really. They're just, you know, it's a wrong and right answer thing, and you try to figure it out. I guess Atlas is the most fun just because it is kind of neat, lowering cooldowns and how that can make units do things that they otherwise couldn't. So if I had to pick one, I guess I would say Atlas. But yeah, I don't really have a favorite just because Mystic Codes aren't like the units themselves, right? Which are a bit, you know, more interesting because you got design, personality, animations, and NPs can mix things up a lot more than a Mystic Code can generally. But I'll say this, Atlas looks really stupid from a style standpoint. If I was going to pick a favorite Mystic Code based off of purely aesthetic, It's not gonna be Atlas. I'm not actually sure what it would be, but it's not Atlas. Probably be like the Fate Zero one or something. I'm not going to get into details right now because I've talked about this in the past, but this is not a controversial statement. It might be to like noobs, but people that know this game, this is not a controversial statement. There's only really 4 Mystic Codes worth using. Like maybe 5, depending on what you're doing. But it's Default, Atlas, Anniversary, Blonde, and the Combat Uniform, Switch Mystic Code. That's pretty much it. You have incredibly niche circumstances where some of the other Mystic Codes can be alright. But yeah, it's pretty much just those 4, and none of the other ones even matter. Yeah, even 2004. People always bring up 2004. It's not that good. Like, it's just a math thing. It's like look at Default, okay? I'm not gonna go too deep into this because I've talked about this before, and it's such a mouthful to really explain why the big 4 are just so much better than everything. But look at Default, right? You get Evade, which is guaranteed 1 turn of value for any unit that you want, right? And that's pretty big, right? That alone is 1 turn of value no matter what, unless the boss has sure hit or whatever. But then you could use Atlas. And then attack up is so much damage, normally going to be 1 turn of value, maybe even 2 though, depending on the unit, especially if you Brave Chain and crit and stuff, you could potentially have 2 turns of value out of the attack up. So we're already looking at 2 or 3 turns of value, almost regardless of circumstances, right? Almost in any circumstance, it's going to get you at least that much value. And then the heal, although the heal may not give you 1 turn of value, but because the cooldown, it can, but the cooldown is shorter, so you can cast it 2 times pretty much always, and in harder, longer fights, you might cast it 3 or 4 times. So it easily adds up to at least a turn of value, but again, sometimes 2 turns of value. So we're already looking at like 5 turns of value out of Default. And then when you look at a lot of the other Mystic Codes, they don't do that at all. They don't even have a survival skill, and then their damage up is okay, so maybe 1 turn, but that's like it. And then the other skill's like super niche, it's not even applicable to most stages. So wow, you have like 2 turns of value, maybe not even that. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, it's not even close, right? And so when you look at those 4 Mystic Codes that I mentioned, they're all like that, where they all are guaranteed to get you at least 3 turns of value, and then a lot of them can actually give you more than that. And then you look at every other goddamn Mystic Code, and it's like, these are struggling to even give you 2 turns worth of value. So it's not hard to understand why they're shit. And I will say this though, Combat Uniform of the big 4 is actually the least useful to most players. Now, it's still one of the best Mystic Codes in the game, and it's among the best, and it's extremely good if you're a whale, or you just have a very advanced, powerful account. And that's because the unit you're switching in and out can be a unit that has skills that are really, really strong, and if you're a really strong team, 5 of your units probably aren't going to die throughout the challenge quest anyway. So the switch, there's no real negative to it, right? Where if you're doing like a budget team or you're a new player, the switch becomes so much weaker because you probably need all hands on deck eventually anyway. So the unit that lost their skills that you switched out will come back with no skills, and it catches up with you, right? Switch Mystic Code is a burst value thing that will catch up with you in the long run, but really strong teams, this stage ends before like their debt, comes back to them, if you will. And the also strong teams have a unit that's so powerful you want to switch them in and get their skills immediately. Budget teams a lot of times don't do that. If you watch like my budget videos or Ace of Hearts budget videos or even the Japanese low star guy, they don't use the Switch Mystic Code very much. They just don't, right? Because the budget units aren't good enough and they don't win fast enough. That's the real key thing. They don't win fast enough for it to be worth it. So yeah, out of the big 4, the Switch Mystic Code is the worst one, unless you're a whale. Then it's like the best one because it enables the most burst possible. It enables like the most skills being activated on the same turn as possible. It lets you do stuff that you just literally can't do otherwise, right? So the Switch Mystic Code is either or godly, but it's not as consistent, right? Where it's so consistent for any account, new account, old account, whale account, free-to-play account. It's so consistent for Default, Atlas. Those 2 really are the best 2, I would say. Because Anniversary Blonde's really good, but it's a bit more niche just because it's Buster only. And Guts is not as good as Invulnerability or Evade, and you're not always going to have a team where 20 stars even matters, so it's more capable of whiffing value. But I actually think Anniversary Blonde, accidentally, it's not on, like, they didn't think of this, but accidentally, I think Anniversary Blonde is designed really well because it has okay consistent value, but it's behind the other ones, but it has the potential to have like the most value. Because you could do a Buster MP with 2 Buster cards that both crit, and then you just got more damage than any other Mysticode can give you by a lot. Like by a lot, right? It's so much more value at that point. Alright, so we do have an attack removal command code. I'll attack up next turn, because this turn we're Mysticoding, or NPing, which lowers our damage because we're not doing 3 attacks. So we have attack removal though, so hopefully we survive here. But yeah, there's way more I could go into about Mysticodes, but I already went into it more than I really should have. But there's so much more about why the big 4 are the ones that matter. But yeah, long story short, the big 4 are good. Everything else is pretty shit. And even when they're in their niche, they're normally not as good as the other ones. That's why no one, like, the only times you see people using them are like people that are just making like silly videos that don't like really matter, or it's an easy stage, you could win with anything, or they're overvaluing the challenge quest with like a really strong team and you can get away with off meta stuff. Anytime you watch people being really meta and where meta matters, where they're like doing a budget team, so it's really hard to win at all, or they're doing a min clear, so it's like the most damage you can get in the short amount of time is what, you know, matters. It's where like, basically where mistakes are more noticeable, right? You don't really see people using the other Mysticodes very often. Every blue moon you do. It's not like, it's not 100% of the time thing where it's only the big 4. There are rare instances where you'll throw another one in there. But yeah, it is very rare. It's very, very rare. So I would say for a free-to-play player or a new player, the default and Atlas is the most important too. Anniversary Blonde's great, but it is pretty Buster specific. Now, if you're like a big Beowulf fan, or Mori, or Lubu, or GUDAGUDA or something, then you definitely want Anniversary Blonde. Like, if you're a Buster boy, it's such a good Mysticode, you can't really miss out on it. But you might not like Buster units, right? You might have like no Buster units you care about, or if you do like them, you're not going to use them in situations where it matters too much, stuff like that. Okay, I'm putting the command code last because it's the attack removal. So it gives it the most chance of actually removing something. Although I guess we had evade that turn, so it didn't matter. Looks like Boudica's got this though. Might be a little close though, because he could proc Guts right here. Wait, do we have our crit up skill? Does she have that yet? She does. How about that? I don't think it's worth NPing here. I think we just go burr. Actually, she may lose this. Maybe overestimating her damage here. Okay, I'm gonna NP here, and it's so I lower my odds of giving him an attack buff. So we don't attack as many times, we have the 1 attack removal, so hopefully that's enough. But really, the reason that Mysticodes are in such a dumb state is because they're not very smart about how they add Mysticodes. It's not like the big 4 are so good you couldn't possibly make another Mysticode as good as them without power creep. Not at all. It is so easy to make. I think there's massive gaps. You can have an Anniversary Blonde equivalent for Quick and Art. That took me 5 seconds to think of that, right? Like, it's easy to actually make more Mysticodes meta. The reason the Mysticodes are not meta is because they keep doing stupid shit, like a weird offensive buff, and then like a niche side skill, and then no hard survival skill. Like, that's stupid, right? They keep doing that. It's like, that's never gonna compete with something that has a guaranteed survival skill, a big damage up skill, right? Like those, it's fun for a Mysticode to be good, and it either needs to give an abnormal amount of offensive value like Anniversary Blonde, or it needs to at least have some kind of offensive value and then a survival skill, or 2 survival skills and no offensive value, right? It needs that, but they keep adding stuff that like it's missing something like really obvious and it ruins it. Some of the other Mysticodes have a good skill as part of the Mysticode. Like, they absolutely do. There's one with like the buff removal resistance and stuff like that. But then look at the other skills. They're right? They don't have like an evade. A lot of the Mysticodes that exist would be made a million times better if you could just remove one of the skills from it and add just evade, just vanilla evade. Just remove one of the dumb skills, add evade to it. All of a sudden, it's a great Mysticode. but they're like, oh, that's boring, and so they keep making things that don't have hard survival, and yeah, they suck.
いいよ
Like, you have to be a hell of a Mystic Code to be good if you don't have hard survival. I think they do care about Mystic Codes because they keep adding them. And they keep doing weird experimental stuff. I can tell they are aware the big four are always better. I just don't think they've understood what the problem is. Because they've added a lot of Mystic Codes in like the last 3 years. So I very much think they care. But I just think they don't know what they're doing. And it was an accident that like Anniversary Blonde is as balanced as well as it is, for example. And I think they care about Mystic Codes for a lot of reasons, and one is because it's a good incentive to get people to farm, which they want. Yeah, they just keep messing it up. And it's unfortunate because now there's a lot of like Mystic Code bloat, where there's like all these Mystic Codes. There's so many to level, but most of them are worthless. Just a lot of players don't realize that. It's like a newbie trap, having that many Mystic Codes. Wait, whoops. Not that one. No. Okay, we've only beaten this with one neutral unit, so let's try to be with neutral again. We just did that Bodica because, you know, Captain wanted it. Someone else asked for another unit, and I said I would do it, but I forgot what it was. Someone asked for one, and I was like, okay, sure. But I forgot. Because I was rambling. Did anyone remember what the hell? Oh, say! Yeah, that was it. Okay. That's actually pretty spicy, because she's neutral in AoE. I'll actually be impressed if she wins, unless she's an event server or something. Okay, she's not. I mean, she's got a survival skill, but I would be surprised if she won this. Even though we've beaten this a few times in a row, that's mainly because we're like counterclassing and then we're using a really strong unit. I actually don't think this is that easy to solo. It's really easy to just get one shot and boom, dead. She's gonna have to kick a lot of ass here or get unbelievably lucky to not die. The one way I think this stage is easy to solo, if like this challenge quest came out on JP, like today, like they ran it, it would be super easy because you could just equip a bunch of attack removal command codes. So the only way you would get fucked up is if your extra attack procced the attack up and then you got crit or something, then you're gonna get one shot still. But the odds of you getting one shot go down so hard if you have a bunch of Mystic Codes. Command codes, excuse me. Yeah, imagine you bring 5 Mystic Codes. Like, this game's balanced. Oh, you want to talk about a good Mystic Code? Look at the... to this day, I get comments like this. I think I had a comment yesterday about this. People will see the comma challenge quest from the end of the maze event. And they'll be like, oh, how do you get that Mystic Code? Because, like, yeah, that one's kind of good, but obviously that one's not attainable because that event was balanced around it. Although I will say, you would use that Mystic Code like 90% of the time if it was available, but you would not use it 100% of the time, and it's because the cooldowns are so long. And there are stages where it's like make or break that you have some kind of other ability, like to switch or whatever. Like there may be utility that's just so important on something else, but you would definitely use it like 90% of the time. How many turns does Sei's thing last? 3 turns. So I could cast it now, but because the Spriggan doesn't have a lot of actions per turn, I'm gonna wait. I'll probably cast it next turn. Actually, now that I think about it, I guess Sei is a bit better off because of that skill. Maybe I don't think, okay, hold up. Okay, hold on. First off, we're getting no cards. Second off, we have to get rid of George. He just takes way too long to die. But I think we cast her evade. This stage is so easy on Ku. I don't even think Ku can lose this if his skills are maxed. Like with the Spriggan, I don't think it's possible. Because if the Spriggan, first off, I think the Spriggan sometimes doesn't attack. I think sometimes he casts a skill. And so minimum, it takes him 3 turns to get through PFA. And, you know, PFA can't wear off, right? Like with Sei's can actually wear off if, like, he doesn't attack. And then you obviously get another hit from Guts. And then sometimes he won't one-shot you. And you have the Mystic Code and the cooldown reduction. I'm pretty sure, like, between Atlas's cooldown coming back and the gut skill every other time, I don't think it's possible for Ku to die in that stage. Like if this brigand had like 10 million health, I'm pretty sure Ku could do it. Because if you play really smart, yeah, I don't think it's possible for this brigand to ever kill him. And there's been a few stages like that, where like the enemy has 2 actions per turn, or there's just some kind of gimmick that synergizes with the way Ku is, and it just becomes impossible for Ku to die. This is not the only stage I've seen this happen before. It's never gonna happen, Say. It's never gonna happen. Although, funnily enough, it wouldn't be that broken. It would make her ridiculously good, but I don't actually think it would be broken if they did that. But they're not going to. The only times they really do it is when they add another like Ku and stuff like that. They haven't done an unlimited duration 3-hit thing in an incredibly long time. When they rarely do unlimited duration, it's like 1 hit now or 2 hit at best. Okay, though, say... There we go. I was about to say, what happened here? Okay, we'll make this, George does have a multi-taunt. What I could do, I don't think we're gonna need the NP gain, so I might do, like, this with a taunt CE. Wait, is this starting in... If this is starting NP, I'll do that. Yes, it is. So it should be okay if we don't have the extra battery. I think this is my only account that does not have Poster Girl. So I need Outrage. Thankfully I have that. Okay. Every account can have Outrage, though. I'm sure someone has made the mistake, though, where they buy the Chaldea Boys CE thing where you get to pick one. And they just didn't pick Outrage, which is a mistake. That is a huge mistake, because all the other CEs available are easily replaceable by other things. I think Sable might have this. With Atlas, we should have good enough uptime on our evade that I think we might have this. Yeah, I didn't think about that with the Spriggan having such a low hit count, so I think she's got it. Wait, I have the twins on NA? I didn't even... I guess I do. I know I rolled a little bit on Canis, so that must have been why. That happened on JP too, though. Okay, though, say why stage 2? Why stage 2? It's so awful. Oh god. It's like a cake that has way too much icing on it. Right, of like different flavors. It's like you have a child, right, where you ask them like, okay, what do you want? Do you want pie or cake for your birthday, right? And then they make the wrong answer of they say cake, right? And then you ask them, okay, what kind of cake, right? And they're like vanilla cake. And you're like, okay, with what kind of icing? And then they're all of them. And you're like, you can't have all of them. And they're like, I want all of them though. And you're like, fine. And then you put every goddamn icing in the store on the fucking cake, and then you get this nonsense, and it tastes like trash, by the way. That sounds horrible. I'm like making myself want to puke here because I'm not a big cake fan to begin with, and then if they have that much icing on them, then I really don't care for it. Carrot cake is good. That's the good cake, by the way. That's the rest. Well, I don't know the rest. There's a couple other ones that are okay, but. Ice cream in general is just good. Ice cream is good. Pie is generally good. There are some pies, though, that are bad. There are definitely some pies that are yikes, but... let me think. Well, I do this one. NP versus just the quick up. Honestly, I think the quick up's better. It can be like Shiki, where the battery just doesn't line up in a way. Okay, that crit spread though, that was not ideal. But I'm confident that's the right play here because you want to get the skills on cooldown so Atlas can kick in and all that. I'm not sure I've ever had any icing that's green. What would it be, like lime or mint or something? I know you can just use food coloring, but then it says that, you know, that doesn't... That doesn't make it an actual like type of cake or anything, right? Like you can make anything any color. It's not like a unique flavor or something. Let's go with, I guess actually we'll do full NP game here and then just NP again. Yeah, I guess there probably is lime icing, and I do like lime, but I don't think that would make great icing. I could be wrong, but that does not sound amazing. Like lime legit is good, but that doesn't sound great. Okay, our thing is gone. Do I need to... I think I invulnerability. And then I evade next turn. It seems like the right way to go here. And then we will do quick chain. This brigand gets attack up when you... It's a random when you attack. So if you get unlucky, he just like one-shots you. Actually, he can pretty easily one-shot you, even if he only has one attack buff, I think. It's such a huge attack up. Like, if we didn't have invulnerability here, I'm quite confident that he would kill us. Like, his damage just becomes absolutely insane. I think we got this, though. I think we'll, it'll be a little close, like we'll be about to get one shot by the end of it, but I think we're gonna get this. Do I want to do NP gain, though? No, crits are a lot of damage. Like, they're if anything, they're more damage than the NP. If all three of these crit. Okay, so we've got 2 hits, so we have at least 2 turns. So yeah, I think we're good. I think we got this. I can NP right now as well. Yeah, I totally forgot about her second skill working that way, and the Spriggan only having 1 action per turn, so yeah, she's got this. I will say though, if she was like level 90 in P2, it would be really hard, because you would definitely get to the point where you'd have to risk getting attacked. However, if you did give her an attack removal command code, that's probably going to buy you another turn or 2. So I actually think she could probably still do it at level 90 AP2, which is actually pretty impressive because she's AoE. Because I think most units that if they were AoE level 90 in P2, I don't think they would work unless they just had a lot of survivability. But she does have like an amazing toolkit for this, because anyone with a multi-hit evade like that lingers. Because here's the thing, if you did like Deermid or just, you know, the twins, you know, typical evasion skills or invulnerability skills, they'll only protect you for the 1 hit, and then the turn's over, and they go away, and then you just die, right? Where when you have multi-hit, like with Sei or Ku, things like that, they just keep going, right? They end up buying you an insane amount of value. I should have done that one more time with Ku just to laugh at the stage, because he could do it even if that was a saber, but I think we're good. You know, Panda Lancer would have been good. Fuck, that would have been a good one, because she's got buff removal and all that. That legit would have been a good time for Panda Lancer. I'm not sure anyone here has her though. I don't know. Okay, let's at least well, I can save these free quests for next time. I think I'm gonna wrap up there, boys. It's getting late. I really want to play Elden Ring, but I think I'll just play it. Well, let me think. No, I'll play it tomorrow. That's what I'll do. We'll do some Elden Ring tomorrow. It's just getting kind of late, so I think I should probably wrap up there. But I have a decent amount of Elden Ring viewers now, and I think I'm letting them down. I'm tempted to play just a little bit, but it is late, so it's probably best if I don't. But I'll try to really get to that tomorrow. But thank you guys for hanging out. Let's see if I can raid somebody real quick. What do we got here? We got Toho, we got Shaquado. Let's raid Toho. We haven't raided him in a little bit. I'll do that. Looks like he's playing NA, just like we were. All right, there you go, boys. I will see you tomorrow, and take care.